I can't think of a new way to say welcome to Leog. How do I say it?
You just did.
Another language.
Oh, okay. Welcome to Leog.
Bienvenido a Leon.
Yeah, bienvenidos.
Sing it.
I got a way you can say it.
Yeah?
Welcome, bitches, to Leon!
You know what? I just knew he was going to say, like, oh, I know how to say it. Let's do this!
Are you ready?
That,
Are you ready?
That would be the obvious route. I didn't want to kill that.
Oh, you're not going to pick the low fruit today, huh?
No.
Fruit.
I've beaten that dead horse already.
Pick the low fruit.
What?
Yeah, it's like it's going for like the easiest joke you could possibly without working for it. It's like
Yeah,
when
you
somebody
did.
tells a Michael Jackson joke, it's like, wow, you had to work real hard for that.
Yeah,
Huh?
I'm trying
I'm
to challenge myself these days, Leon. I'm trying to challenge myself.
Well, good.
New jokes, new improved jokes.
And we're proud of you,
Yeah.
co-host.
Well, whenever
I
you get
try.
some, just start rolling them out.
I try.
So-
not to say that I'm going to be all over this podcast trying to make jokes every 5 seconds.
No, you
I'm
can't
here to
help
hang
yourself.
out. I came out because you needed some reserves. And,
Well, that's right.
We
The
did.
league is in
Yeah.
trouble, and we needed you, co-host. We got a lot of
whenever the league's in
a
trouble,
lot of members who are MIA.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
A lot of people out of town. Some people family emergencies, all sorts of stuff.
Well,
So-
you know what? This is that month, July. I mean, we're even like scrambling to get
July is
this
the
recorded
cruelest
because
month.
you just got back, and then we're taking off again next
Yeah,
week.
yeah, we're taking off again on Friday to go to.
I hate you.
San Diego.
Yeah, have fun on your trip, you
Yeah,
prick.
bitches.
If you're listening to this right now,
It's a work
we're
trip.
we're in San Diego as you listen to
Yes,
this.
yes, we
Bitches.
are, and we're probably miserable because we're just buckled down with all the work we have to do to keep you fuckers happy.
Yeah.
I can only hope
Or-
that you guys bring Spill the
or-
best coverage ever.
Yeah, I mean, either that we're miserable because all
Or
the work
you're
we're
drinking
doing.
martinis at a lounge with Jim Steranko.
Either him or Neil Gaiman.
Or Ruby Rocket has introduced us to her parade of slutty superhero dressing comic book
Or
girls.
we're in Tijuana at a
Yeah,
strip
that's-
club / whorehouse.
That's not what's going to be happening.
Damn.
It's
We can do
possible.
that here.
Dude, I'm in
Fly to
Comic-Con.
San Diego.
Leon,
Why
you said enough, Leon. You're
Leon,
pissing
if
me
you'll
off.
recall, you are no longer allowed in the country of Mexico.
Well, there's a reason why he can't recall that. All right. Well, this is the Leog, which is what y'all asked for, animation part 2. Keep in mind the Mation part of that sentence.
But,
Yeah,
but
that's the
dude,
thing. I had finally lobbied and got Cyrus to agree on an anime episode, but everybody complained that about all the animation shows we didn't cover. So, like, okay, fine, we'll go back to animation.
Yeah. So sorry, guys, no anime. Oh well.
Oh,
that
well.
was the people have spoken.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
you guys aren't going to talk
No,
about
not yet,
Ghost
sure.
in the Shell, Ninja
What the year
Scroll,
after
Akira.
after that?
Well, we just
and
did.
what was the other
There you
one?
go.
Yeah, we
Blood?
just did.
Oh, okay, there
That
you
was
go.
Right
the
there, that was the
Leog.
animation
They're
show.
all awesome.
Enjoy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're all
that-
Have
awesome.
your pipe and smoke.
It was awesome.
Just for you, Jalford.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm your host, Cyrus.
Yes, you are. Oh, you want me to introduce
Pointing
myself
at you was
too.
too subtle. I see.
I thought you were just indicating that your conversation was over. I'm Bo.
Also known as Encyclopedia Bo.
Yes.
And of course, I'm Leon.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm co-host 3000. Hip hop hooray! Ho!
It is a
And
special
co-host, we
Leog.
might have to induct you as a member of the league. You've been doing a lot of guest
know.
spots.
I'm not into the team thing. I just
Oh, you
just
like
a
Wolverine.
part-time player. More
So
like
do you have, like-
Batman
do you have-
than Wolverine, my friend. Wolverine, that
Jason
movie
tied
sucked.
up in a sodomy cave somewhere. Is that the,
I suspected it was you because I read on his Facebook he bought a fedora, and then there was this long internet silence from you. I noticed you couldn't help but feel it in the air, and then this whole comment of, "Yeah, just try it, buddy." I just figured
my
he was in your
exact
backyard.
words are wear the headgear, but you pay me every time that you appear on air.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Because
Yeah.
you're not infringing upon my trademark without Papa getting some cabbage.
Yeah, you guys did show up like the Hat Squad, I got to say.
Maybe we should all have hats.
I know, man. You know what, Kristen? I think you're right. It's time for the league
To pick
to
hats.
have hats.
to have hats.
Ah,
Can I get one
That'll
of
be our
the?
new thing.
I think Cyrus should always wear a chef's hat.
Yeah, we gotta have zany ones,
toque.
though, you know? I can get a
Cyrus,
Justice
I can see-
hat.
I was
Even
a
though I
beret
see
guy.
Leon more with the chef hat. Don't ask me why.
Actually,
don't
I
know
think
why.
Kristen should have to. I think Kristen should have to dress like Harley Quinn from the Batman.
Oh, yeah,
I
think
second
I
it.
have actually always wanted to do that costume, but I'm like, I feel like I would need to work out a little slightly, just have the confidence of wearing a leotard?
No. You look pretty. You
Oh,
should,
it's all good.
Hey.
As a matter of fact, for these podcasts, you should rotate between Harley Quinn and the Scarlet Witch and the Black Cat.
Poison Ivy is actually one of my more favorite characters.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Or
I
that
never- I
chick
never
from
read
the Fifth Element. I would love to see you in
Yes,
that costume.
that's
Yes.
the one.
That's what I
Cyrus,
want.
where's your
you
gauze?
to be
The
in this
bandage outfit is the way to go here.
Hey, do you
Let's
guys-
not make it dress.
Do you guys mind if I wear my propeller hat? My,
Yes.
That's perfect.
Awesome. All right.
Which, you
I
know
love
what?
that
We
hat.
actually got accused recently of being sexist.
What?
And I
Us?
was like,
What?
really?
Are you joking?
No,
from
we-
Dumbass.
Yeah, but we appreciate women. There's nothing sexist about saying, "Hey, you're hot. I'd love to see you in that." As long as afterwards you go, "I'm sorry," and Kristen,
As
I'm
the
sorry.
only
Kristen, I'm
woman
sorry too,
in
baby.
the room right now, I honestly don't find any of these people sexist. They're
Okay.
fantastic people. And who hates being like, Kristen, you got a hot body? I mean,
And that's why Kristen is the only woman allowed on Leon anymore.
Yeah,
I like that. It's called a
a.
confidence boost. So maybe if people that find sexist, maybe you spend more time working on your physical appearance, and you won't feel so damn insecure that you have to call other people sexist.
Yeah, I mean, you
All
go
right.
to a chick and you go like, you know what? You're not that smart, but I'd bone you. That's a compliment.
Yeah.
All right, now Leon straightened up. We probably shouldn't say.
Oh,
damn.
was that too much? All right.
I don't think it
dial
was
back a little bit.
strayed so much as a purposeful stride.
I'm just trying to get a parameter.
There you go. Now you know. You know the
Yeah.
boundary line.
The border's 3 miles that away, my friend.
I know.
That
Last
means-
time I hung out with Leon, he was hanging out with a girl. I was like, "Hey, have you met my friend Ben?" She said, "Ben who? Bend over." Never mind. That's
Wow.
God.
Thank you, Shecky Green.
yeah. I'll be here all weekend.
Try the view.
Take my wife, please.
Remember, the 11 o'clock show is different from the 9 o'clock show.
That's why he's the
Waka
co-host.
waka waka.
And everybody loves him.
That's true. That's true. You should totally have something you could a confetti shooter we could hook into a USB port or something.
What? Like a Rip Taylor? Rip Taylor? Hello, Frisco. It's an instant party over here, Leon.
Okay,
Hi-yo.
now that we've strayed into Rip Taylor jokes, I believe we've completely alienated our audience.
Let's talk about comic book guys.
I showed up.
Captain
to
America's so muscly.
Listen, I tuned
He's
in to
throwing
listen
confetti
to
all over the room.
animation.
I didn't know co-host was Jewish. I didn't even know it had a penis.
Wolverine, you're always so angry.
What's that, Paul Lynde?
No, that's Ball. No, it's all right. I get them confused sometimes.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite Radioactive Man villain.
Or
The
for-
Scoutmaster. Go ahead, boys. Scratch their eyes out.
I was going to say for our younger viewers, he's Roger from American Dad.
Yes, but I have this image now of like the opening credits to the Love Boat with co-host appearing as the guest stars.
Thanks.
I'm just saying, it would have happened. All right, so let's get into this. The animation episode part 2. Yeah, which we just talked about cartooning animation from the 70s and 80s a lot last time. So let's kind of like on the whole try and move this forward. I know our tendency, because some of us are old farts, is to talk about the shit from our youth. But
Leon.
Well, you know what?
Listen.
The way we structured the last show was like, what did you grow up with? So we were
That's
also
true.
caught on that question. Still, we never got into what we're watching now.
Exactly. yes.
True.
What,
Yeah,
what are
and-
we watching now
and
that
we
we're
will-
not stupid kids
Before
anymore?
we jump into that, just because I read the questions right before coming over here, did anybody watch Gargoyles? Because there was like way too many questions about that show.
Really?
well, I have that question.
I know, but I feel like if we address it now, we can get it out of the way.
I saw a few episodes when they aired, and I think I liked the concept. But if you ask me now what happened, I really couldn't tell you. It had a lot of Star Trek people as the voice actors.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Jonathan
Yeah.
Frakes and
Yeah.
David
Brett Spiner
Keith was
Yeah,
the
and,
main guy.
and the lady.
Keith-
one of
Keith
the
David, I'm
ladies.
sorry.
Yeah,
Keith
Keith
David.
David was like the
Troy.
main. What was that? What was
Oh,
it? What's his name? Goliath or something?
Yeah.
Good lord, I cannot remember.
Well, whoever played Troy. But anyway, I've actually got the DVD at my house right now. A friend of mine is like, "Oh, you really should watch this again." But I've never sat down and watched them. But I'm like, I'd like to give it another shot, but I can't guarantee I'm going to like it.
It might be one of those things that was like, I remember at the time, to me that show was eclipsed by Batman the Animated Series. Because
Right.
that brought back the whole new wave of great animation. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
granted, Tiny Toons started off, but that was what really cemented it. And then Gargoyles coming right out after that was like, okay, well, this is a an okay alternative, I guess. But Batman's on. I'm going to watch that instead.
Gargoyles has its crazy cult status right now. There are Gargoyle conventions.
Oh, I know.
serious?
I know.
Yeah.
They're,
Yes,
they're
yes. That
insane
Wendy
about
Penny,
it.
who does ElfQuest, actually was so obsessed with the show, she was going to these Gargoyle conventions as a guest. She has nothing to do with gargoyles. She just loved the show so much. So yeah, it has a very strong cult.
I thought it was an
following.
excellent show, but it was just like that with the Leon. I was like, you know what? If I had to choose between that and Batman the Animated Series, which I believe came on right around the same
Yeah,
time.
Yeah, it did.
I was going to pick Batman.
Well, and that's the
right,
thing
but-
that they were often airing at the same time.
And
so
wasn't it
at least in Austin?
and it was the
So-
same people
It
too,
was
though.
Yeah, There
Actors.
was a lot of directors who would switch back and
Okay,
forth.
okay. I thought it was
Also-
even the same animators, though.
Well, I mean, different animation studios, but
I don't think it was Warner Bros.
because actually, if I'm not mistaken, it was Kevin Altieri, who was like the lead animator on Batman animated series, and he left to do Gargoyles.
Dumbass.
Well, now I don't know if you remember or not. Was that a Saturday morning cartoon or after school?
It was after school.
That's I think why I never got into it, because at that point I was already in high school, and so I wasn't getting home in time to watch anything anymore, and that's
Yeah.
why it fell off my radar.
Yeah, that was kind of the like, towards the 90s. Those really sort of the death knell for the Saturday morning cartoon. I
Yeah.
mean, they really don't do them anymore.
No, not at all.
There was some
Which
good
sucks.
ones, like right after I graduated from college in 2001. There were like 3 or 4 specific cartoons I would wake up for, and that was it. After that, there isn't Saturday morning cartoons anymore.
Stop
It's
me
sad.
if I've said this before. It's one of my usual rants, but what killed Saturday morning cartoons was Saved by the Bell. Because NBC decided we don't want to pay for animation. We're going to put on this cheap live action show
Right.
that costs us nothing. And,
Let's give them Screech.
and when it took off, they were like, okay, screw, no more cartoons on Saturday
Yeah.
mornings.
Yeah.
How many
No, there-
seasons of
there's
that
still,
are there?
No, there's
Like
still more. 'Cause
12?
Saved by the Bell was when I was young. Because The Tick came on well after Saved by the
But
Bell.
wait a minute.
that
By
was
that
fun.
logic,
The X-Men
why didn't
cartoon
Jason
way.
of Star Command or Arc 2 do the same thing?
It wasn't with teenagers.
Yeah.
Well, apparently there were.
Wow. I don't think anybody. I'm talking. I'm like, in our entire audience, nobody but me understood what you just said.
Yeah, I know.
I was waiting
Maybe
for a
Ghost Rider.
Kimba the White Lion reference, but okay.
I know that Saturday morning cartoon morning was over when Soul Train came on. I was like, oh,
Yes.
it's Soul
Yeah,
Train.
that was it.
I'm going to get some breakfast.
And Soul Train was a jit because it started out with a cartoon intro,
yeah,
and you're
you're
like,
right.
"Oh, is this some kind of
Yeah.
new cartoon about black
yeah.
people?" No.
And somehow every week you fell for
Yeah,
it.
you fall for it every week. And you're just like,
know what?
"Oh, maybe no."
Okay, now I was on the
True,
East
you never really
Coast.
listened.
I was on the East Coast, and for me, like Fat Albert was always the last of the cartoons.
Hey.
And then later, you might get something. Every so often, it'd be like an ABC. We're going to take a book and animate that. Or there's a show
Yeah,
called
the-
Hot
Yeah.
Fudge, which
Yeah.
is live action and puppets. But yeah, when Soul Train came on, it's
Yeah,
definitely
they did
on.
the Saturday morning book special with O.C. Reedmore.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's
the
the one.
cartoon cat,
Yeah.
and they would adapt
Ralph the
some
Mouse.
Ralph the Mouse, some scholastic novel.
Yeah.
But
I
trying
know
to
what you're
skip
talking about. I
after the
remember that.
cartoons in the 80s back to Gargoyles.
But I'm talking about old stuff.
No, I'm
Enough
reading it-
about your howdy doody memories.
you kids get off of my lawn. I'm talking about
Hey,
cartoons.
there was a lawsuit.
But I was going to say apparently there was a lawsuit with one of the artists against Disney. There was a controversial 3rd season, but it doesn't explain
Wow, the whole
why it
season
was
was
controversial. Yeah, well, it
There was
says
nudity.
It says the controversial 3rd and final season aired on Disney's one Saturday morning format on ABC as Gargoyles the Goliath Chronicles, but I don't know why. Apparently, it's not considered part of the plot.
Well, the character Goliath was a big racist.
Oh, I see. Yeah, they turned it into a whole Sanford and Son analog.
He was an anti-Semite. He was killing Jews all the time. And then this guy, no, never mind.
Damn.
Aw.
I would have watched that.
Yeah.
What are you talking
Biblical
about?
reference, anyone?
I saved 800 people. It's like, yeah, but you killed 8,000 Jews. Got to break a few eggs.
Schindler's List of animation. Yes.
Yeah, I can see why.
Philistine. Well, yeah.
Technically, yes. Okay. So back to questions we didn't get to, unless Leon had something else he wanted to dive into before we get started.
We could talk about
I
Phil.
Kristen
actually
did,
have a big fat thank you to Nikado, who actually sent me something from my Amazon gift list.
Oh, you know
I actually
good.
got some.
Dirty,
I mean,
rotten.
congratulations to you by all means, and Nikado, thanks again. I'm just thinking like, okay, who in the league hasn't got anything yet? Who's probably-
Me.
And it made me happy.
Okay, well, that's awesome.
He got me 3 graphic novels of Fables.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
It's something I have been wanting to catch up on. I own 1 and 2. He got me 3, 4, and 5. So I'm very excited to read them.
Yeah.
I will get there eventually. But
Oh,
anyway, thank you so much.
that's
That was
beautiful.
very.
All I
fun.
know is that I'm hearing some stirrings out there that apparently from one of the fans, and I don't even know who, Bo has an astonishingly huge present on the way, is what I was told.
Hey, he's got a big birthday coming
I
up.
was
Well, you know
told-
it ain't his
Oh,
video
my
game
God.
system.
No,
so-
I was told that it would make my Wii system look like an afterthought.
Are you
But-
serious?
Yeah.
Is it a Russian wife?
Box full of dead hookers.
That'd be hilarious if you got like the Commodore 600 or whatever.
It's the Amiga.
Yeah.
I'm rooting
No,
for the Russian
I
one.
like the Russian wife. That's
Yeah, I was going to say that's a great idea.
Pleased to meet. We make sex
Yeah.
now.
yeah,
She's
a
a
darling.
yeah. She's
Why
a
is
midget.
it Bo at
Yeah.
Leog again? Goddamn Russian wife.
I'm learning
Yeah.
Russian.
It'd be awesome if she was a midget for easy shipping. You know?
I can see it. And I was like,
I
what
want
the
to see Bo date a midget. That would be very.
I would be pretty damn.
we like
cool.
to try and do
I
sometimes.
could date you.
I want to see you guys like. I want to see you guys
taller
walking
than
hand
you.
in hand down the railroad
Doesn't
track.
make me a midget. You're very tall.
What
like
if
to-
I cut you off at the knees?
Don't do that.
We like to have food here
no, he'll
at
do
Leon at
Yeah.
Leog. Sometimes I can see it now. Borscht quesadillas. What the fuck is this?
Yes,
Jeez.
but they be marinated in vodka.
Yes, they would. So you'd be like, eh.
You eat delicious.
Well, speaking of Nikado, we're going to
Brock
start with him,
Simpson.
where his question, where he says, just to be a dick to certain persons out there, here's my question. Could you please not talk about anime or manga?
Done
Yes.
and done. Check. Thank you.
Well, normally we'd say no, but since you were so nice,
Yeah, since he was so sweet and sent Kristen a present, we're going to, what choice do we have? It's funny, I don't see anything in my box from Jalford, but I'm just saying.
You what's the phrase? You catch more flies with honey.
You know he's coming to the party to meet you, right?
Oh, that's
Won't
true.
that be fun?
Yeah, that
Oh,
is sort of
yeah.
like a dowry, right? and his country, by sending you those graphic novels, you were betrothed.
You're already married.
Like,
now we
you like those
married.
graphic novels, don't you? Huh? Don't you? Huh? Plenty more where that came from, baby.
Hey, well,
Man, that would be so fucking funny. I would never stop laughing about that.
hey,
Hey, Christian, there's your boyfriend.
he seems very nice. So,
Love
you
her
know
like
what?
no other.
Hey, he's a sweet guy.
He's a sweet guy. So you know what? Maybe it's match made in heaven.
You know
I
what?
can't wait till he gives you a Green Lantern ring.
And he has the advantage of being a guy that Kristen didn't pick out for herself. So he's probably got a better than average chance of being a decent
Wait, I think
guy.
you're confusing Kirsten and Allison again.
Oh, both of them.
Oh, okay.
I don't pick them. They just get drawn to me like magnet. And I'm like, sure, you seem nice enough. I'll date you. And then they turn horribly evil.
Yes.
I'm like, you're a fucking
Yes.
dick. Why didn't I know this like 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Dick.
Wow. So,
Kristen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
that is to say, Nikado, Kristen is available.
Save that.
He's available.
We'll save that for another episode.
Are you
This is
secretly a
friendship.
dick? You might have a shot.
Anyway, Puerto Rican. I assume maybe he meant Grecian, but
Porno Greekin?
Puerto Rican.
Well,
Okay.
he could be going
Oh,
for
I get it.
the hard C of Puerto Rican,
Yeah.
or
Maybe.
he could be
That's what I
going
was
for the
thinking.
soft
Oh,
C
yeah,
of
if he's
Puerto Grecian.
Puerto
But
Rican
it doesn't
and
have an I, so the appropriate
Yeah.
pronunciation would be
Puerto-
Greekin.
Greekan,
Puerto
for a
Rican?
word that doesn't exist.
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
maybe his mom's Puerto Rican, his dad's Greek.
Could be. Well, that's what I was saying. I thought it would have been Grecian.
I would have spelled it with a
then.
K.
Like
to
New
make it more
Yorican.
clear as
Or
to
maybe he
what
just
it
pulled it out of his ass.
he didn't
But
use a K.
yeah, or maybe he just
No,
pulled it out of
I
his
see.
ass. Maybe he had his,
What is your name, young man? Melitos Rodriguez.
the spill randomizer. Do, 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 do,
Chitty
do,
chitty
do.
bom bom. That's my
But
name.
he asks, what cartoon do you believe had the best animation?
Which cartoon?
Damn.
Yeah, and let's,
Smart
we're
question.
saying leaving out movies.
I
Or
got to
anime?
go with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Excellent
It
animation.
had some fantastic animation all the way through.
It did. It did.
Damn.
Anybody have a better answer than Avatar?
hard.
Last
Oh, but
Airbender?
better. I want to see that series, so I can't put it into my.
I mean, I'm.
I can't say no to that. I loved how dark Batman the Animated Series was.
Yes.
Yeah.
you don't see that very often because it's always at night, and I would love just silhouettes and just the darkness of it. And I love.
Now you're
the
talking
artwork
about
in
the
it.
first, like, I guess what?
You know
three
what they
three
did? They did
seasons?
something nobody else had done. Is that the backgrounds are all painted on black paper,
Oh, that's beautiful.
so it was all everything
Yeah.
had a deep shadow.
Now, granted, that was for the
I
first
love
3
that.
seasons, right? Because the 4th season, that's when they did the new streamline.
Yeah, it got a little sharper, and
Yeah.
they also they exported more work.
Right, okay.
So
Yeah.
you know,
See, I'm
but the 4 seasons
Yeah.
still great.
I'm rewatching
Oh, yeah,
them
no.
right now, and I'm still in season 1, so that's very fresh in my mind. So yeah.
Yeah, I can only say some very choice episodes of the Justice League Unlimited.
Had some of the same directors from Avatar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Joaquin Dos Santos.
Yeah.
He did like a lot of those episodes, those better episodes of Justice League. He did most of Avatar, and he did the recent G.I. Joe Resolute.
Can I borrow Avatar from you, by the way?
I actually don't have them. I just watched them when they came
Dude,
on.
do you have Netflix? Come on now.
That's true. I do have these things. I like borrowing
You're
stuff.
a robot.
It's easier.
Download
I like
them.
borrowing stuff.
Oh.
And
Yeah, download them to your brain,
yeah.
man. Doop, 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 doop.
Did you notice my collection at my place? That's how I collect things. I
It's-
borrow it. I borrow
Never
shit
give
and
it
I
back.
never bring it back.
It's
Yeah.
just like the Matrix.
Yeah.
When you get your chance, we'd all be plugged in. You'd be like, "What? I'm just borrowing their life."
Note to self: do not let co-host borrow my things. I'm writing that down in my little book.
Especially not your underwear. Let me tell you a
Yeah.
story.
No, if you're just have anything stealing my underwear, I don't need it back if you've been using it for whatever. Just take it.
And then
I
once
was
he
washing
has
my
it,
windows.
It's just evidence.
It's just evidence. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
No,
I learned not to write my name in them anymore. So
CSI brought in that little black light thing, and it lit up like the sun. Okay. No, I was just going to throw out my answer for that would be the Max. I still think that's
Oh,
really,
that
after all
was
these years, really innovative
fantastic.
and impressive animation.
Have
And the
you-
beginning of motion comics in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
yeah.
That's true.
It's true.
Have
Yeah.
you seen the mural on the east side? There is a Max mural in
no
front
way.
of Mundi Coffee. I went there the other day.
Oh, Cafe Mundi?
Cafe Mundi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there the other day. I'd never been there before. And across the street is the Jungle Queen, the Max, and all the Izzes. And I keep meaning to take a camera over there, but it is impressive.
I love that.
I gotta go
series
check
so
that out.
much.
Go
Yeah.
check it out.
Who did it? Do you know?
I don't know because it's all like graffiti work, and it looks like people just occasionally come by and spray paint whatever the fuck they
They-
want on there. It really is worth looking at. It was well done.
They just put all of the episodes of the Max up on MTV.com.
I saw
that. Are you
serious?
For free.
Yeah.
So
Which hopefully means
go
that they're
check
going to put it out on
They'll put it on
Blu-ray.
DVD
Oh,
or
good. Yeah.
Blu-ray.
Well, at least on DVD, yeah.
I have this fantastic VHS tape, MTV, when I was in college. Spent a whole weekend just running all their cartoons. So I got my tape put on 8 hours and just recorded 8 hours straight. So I ended up catching the Max and Daria and Liquid Television.
Oh, all those great
and Aeon Flux.
yeah.
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 Bugs.
And so, yeah, I love that video cassette because I've got everything on there.
And all that stuff had really innovative, ahead of its time animation
way ahead of
stuff.
time, yeah.
This isn't a TV show per se, but it was a series, and I just downloaded it like 7 or 8 months ago off of iTunes. But the original Max and Dave Fleischer Superman.
Oh, yeah.
they're
Oh,
about
that's cool.
10 episodes, and I mean they're just beautiful. They're
17
absolutely
Yes.
gorgeous. It's hand drawn animation. I mean. It looks like Superman done by the guys that did Disney Snow White. It's just absolutely beautiful hand drawn single cell animation. Or
Now, was any of that show ever rotoscope at all?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
because
a lot of it was. Yeah, it's funny. Well, I did a review for it because I had the newest box set. Yeah, and those guys, the Fleischers, they created rotoscoping, and yeah, there's a bunch of it that is. It just gave it that fluid, lifelike movement. And it's funny because those cartoons, I think they're public domain because almost any company
they are
puts them
public
out.
domain. The version that they have on iTunes is a very nicely remastered
Yeah.
and well worth it. But yeah, like you can buy it on DVD, at like a half price books for like $5.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I was trying to, I have a set I would give away to somebody,
Yeah.
and it looked good because they're on DVD. But the new one, the new remastered ones, when I got it, I was like, yeah, I've seen these a million times.
but
I'll
yeah.
watch it again just so I can write my review. And I was blown away by
Yeah.
them again.
It's
I
just
mean,
like, oh
if
my
you can get
God.
the newest set, I would suggest that because they're just so cleaned up and they're so beautiful.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. All right, so going back to Batman, Jonesy asks, I finally nabbed a box set of Batman the Animated Series, and good fuck, was it just as awesome as I remembered. That was his emphasis.
Okay.
What really shocked me was while rewatching it was just how often the show touched on psychological issues, resulting in some of the most jaw-dropping moments I remember from a cartoon. So what are Leog's favorite Batman the Animated Series moments? Go ahead.
I Am the Night. Best episode of the series, I think, and it's basically the one where he, it's the Spider-Man No More episode. It's where he's just like, I've been fighting this war for so long, and I'm not even making a dent in it. This has gone crazy. Like, I think Robin almost gets killed, and it just sets him off. But in the end, he gets his mojo back and goes out there and starts kicking ass. It's just awesome. It's a great psychological episode, and it really shows the motivations of why he's Batman.
Rather than the raindrops keep falling on my head scene,
Yes,
they
exactly.
play a Joy Division song.
I believe that episode was written by Joe Lansdale.
Oh, really?
I believe so too.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
the writers on the animated series. That's one of the main reasons why it was so good. Is almost a good 50% of those guys have gone on, either came directly from the comic book field or have gone on to become really great comic book writers. So.
Yeah.
And illustrators. Paul Dini, one of my favorite.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
One of my favorite Batman artists, is one of the main writers on the show.
Yeah, he was like the head writer on the
Yeah.
show. My absolute favorite episode, there's so many great ones, but my absolute favorite is one called Over the Edge, where it's where Batgirl gets tossed off a building by Scarecrow and dies. And, her father, Commissioner Gordon, comes to see that, like, oh, this is my daughter who just died running around with Batman, and he goes on a mission to find out who Batman is, unravels it, and starts to hunt him, Robin, Nightwing, all them down.
You took my answer.
Oh well, it's
You
just
took my
funny.
answer
It was
too,
it was
yeah.
it was like their best, like they were at the height of their animation, like the best animation on it, and the story's phenomenal, and you get to see just how fragile Batman's whole thing is.
Yeah.
Like that one secret coming out, it completely unravels everything, and if that would have happened, they'd all go to jail.
Yeah, the linchpin card that yeah, no, it's true. Batman, that's been always one of the appeals of that character anyway, is the fact that he's teetering on the edge of like at any point this could go horribly
Yeah.
wrong, Yeah. Kristen.
Again, I'm rewatching
No
them,
pressure.
So the one I remember most clearly is the one where Harley and Poison Ivy get
Yeah.
together.
Oh yeah.
And because
It's like Girls'
I-
Night
yeah,
Out.
Girls'
it's
Night
not
Out.
a girls'
I think
night,
that's what it
but
is.
Poison Ivy is like, you clearly have a very unhealthy infatuation with the Joker. Let's get you out of that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
need to be your own.
Multi-murdering sociopath.
Yeah.
Also, you really shouldn't hang out with multi-murdering sociopaths.
Yeah, well, even like the multi-murdering sociopath, like, Joker doesn't love you back, woman. Be your own person. You were a brilliant, brilliant woman. Be your own person. And Harley, of course, goes back to Joker
But
at
he's
the
my
end.
pudding.
Yeah, and you feel you really get to know Harley in that episode. You really get a feel for her. But you're like, God, why are you like that? And psychologically, it's the abused woman syndrome, and
She
she's
is-
got that, and they've nailed that.
I
so
believe she's the
beautifully.
only character from a superhero animated series who became a canon
Yes.
character.
Actually,
in the
not
actual
not
comics.
true. There is also
No?
a character from Batman the Animated Series who is part of DC comic continuity. That's Renee Montoya. She
Oh,
is
that's
the,
true.
She is the
Right.
current
That's
question.
absolutely true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she
All
came
right.
from the animated series.
And,
Okay.
and one of the few
And-
lesbian characters on in.
If you
comic
don't count Poison Ivy.
I do absolutely love the graphic novel cover when they finally took Harley into the actual comics. It's the Batman, it's the Joker, and he's holding Harley, and his hands, like, they're not anywhere naughty yet, but
Yeah.
they start going up and
suggestive, yeah.
down. It's great. It's so scandalous. I love
Lord,
it.
she's wearing
Awesome.
a unitard. What's man supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Come on. She's probably coated in KY.
Are you guys and
they give her- yeah.
Now I totally
Or was
know.
that just
Yeah.
my
And they give her double D's,
Is that
right?
grease paint? You just happy to see me?
Yeah.
Well,
This stuff comes right
That was
off.
one of the things with Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Was she was like the first like animated female in a superhero cartoon or comic, but they didn't draw with double D.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I was. Well, that's why I was like, dude, wasn't she on that cover? Wasn't she like? Didn't she have double D's in that?
She's got pretty
know.
big tits.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
don't
by
know.
human standards.
By
Yeah,
human standards,
I remember looking at that cover going,
comparatively,
"Wow,
she's always
wow, well,
been-
we would."
Yeah,
They're not out of control.
by comic book
Okay.
standards, she's a carpenter's dream.
Yeah, she's probably she is flat as
I
a
will have
board
to-
by comic book
I
standards.
will have to
That's
say, in
fair.
Mad Love though, when they drew her with her nightgown, that,
Oh, yeah.
like,
Oh, that's sexy,
that was
yeah.
sexy as hell.
Yeah,
I was like,
and that I was surprised too because Mad Love seemed like it was slightly still trying to keep that PG-13 rating, and they did that, and I was like, oh.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
they
that's-
suggest plenty.
Yeah, that's,
in it.
I mean, I know in the Mad Love comic, there's plenty of it that goes, and they're like, "Ooh, kids, don't watch this."
That's what I loved about it. I'm like, I love it. They're skating that line between PG-13 and R, which is what I loved about Batman. They kept
Yeah.
it. It is not for young ones. It is for teens.
And they were in a constant battle with standards and practices
Yeah.
on what they could and couldn't do.
Well, there's a battle between people who love Batman about what they should be, like this new Brave and the Bold cartoon, which
Yeah.
is clearly for the younger folk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
good.
you know,
It's
it's,
really
it's,
good.
it's as much for the younger folk as it is for the older folk who
Well-
remember those old cartoons.
Yeah, those old Bill
But
comic books.
it's
Fingers
skewing that
and-
way. Yeah, no, it's
Like,
skewing
is that the
towards that
Filmation
direction.
No, it's,
cartoon, or-
it's the new one. The new.
no, I
Brave
know
and the Bold.
it, but are they going back to like at least the style of it?
They're going
somewhat
to
of the
before that. I mean, like,
Yeah,
some
they're
comic
going for
books.
that very blocky, like
Yeah.
Bill Finger style,
Dick Sprang.
Dick Sprang.
Well, did you watch the Batmite episode?
That was the best one.
Oh my God, was that good?
I mean, that was like everything Grant Morrison has been trying to
Yeah,
do. But
no.
it's like, Grant, this is how you do that.
yeah, no, it was like Batman R.I.P. Like you should have watched this first,
Yeah.
and then maybe it wouldn't have been such shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you not, Bo? You're just looking around. Have you not seen that yet?
I have not seen that Batman
You
episode.
would
Okay,
absolutely love
really
it.
I really want to see the Green Arrow episode. But.
Yeah, I have that. We can
Green
watch
Arrow's
it
in a
after this
lot
if
of
you
them because Green Arrow is his rival. I mean,
Yeah.
his best friend / rival throughout the
Well-
whole.
Well,
series.
that's I've always like Ollie and Bruce's relationship is so great, and
Yeah.
it was like I said, we've both. I know one of our favorite scenes from Quiver is when he's riding in the bat plane and he's just like, yeah, I remember when I had the aeroplane and the aero car and Batman just turns and says, good Lord, did you ever have an original thought in your life?
Well, I get the feeling like I don't know, but I would assume that Green Arrow was a ripoff of Batman from the get go,
Oh, no,
and
no,
that,
it-
and
no,
that
he
all
would.
this stuff that's come
Unashamedly
since was just them going, okay, let's have fun with that.
Yeah.
and how
the
obvious
Arrow
that
Cave
is.
for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But
Painfully
almost
obvious.
all of those superhero tropes come from some place or another. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be fair to say that Bruce Wayne and Batman is a ripoff of Lamont Cranston's Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe something even before that. We go all the way back to a cave painting
Yeah,
of a
he's-
guy
he's-
with a cowl.
Yeah, my tour.
Actually, that'd be a great animated series. I wish they would make as a Shadow series or maybe a Doc.
I agree.
Okay, I
I
thought you were
agree.
going to say you wish they'd make like a caveman detective series.
They already, dude.
Captain
they already
Caveman?
did that, and it was called Captain Caveman.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
Oonga boonga.
He had 3 hot chicks, the Oonga Boonga dance. Come on.
Occasionally, he had to put you in his mouth, but other than that,
He did not. He did not have a. He did not have a
freaked out by that,
utility
yeah.
belt, but he had a utility club.
yeah, no shit. Like all kinds of craziness came out of that fucking club. Like, huh?
Obviously, the height of cartoonist pot use
dude,
in the
the
fucking
bird
70s.
from the Flintstones retired to Captain Caveman because he was living in that club. I'm pretty sure they even
my
had
God.
him say
Did he-
it's a living.
Did he have a teenage sidekick at one point?
No, he had 3. The 3 chicks.
Okay, I
that go
remember.
around
That.
the
Okay,
van.
all right,
And
you know what?
and
I
son.
realize I'm starting to
No.
mix up Captain Caveman and my tour. in my
And he
head.
had a son though.
He did?
Captain Caveman. It wasn't
Yeah,
and
yeah,
son.
there was a
yeah.
little, yeah.
Yeah, a little
There
Captain
was a
Caveman.
mini caveman.
With a
Yeah.
red cape or
See, I'm
another.
not crazy.
yeah, I don't know.
Well, jury's still debating.
Okay.
All right.
Did
Oh.
co-host have an answer?
Oh yeah,
Oh
please.
well, mine.
yeah.
No, it's all right. Mine was.
I'm just drunk. That's all.
I'm still trying to fight robot discrimination. But anyway, Over the Edge was mine, obviously for the obvious reasons Leon pointed out. But it's kind of a toss-up between every episode dealing with Mr. Freeze.
Oh yeah,
By far,
damn.
yeah, Cold
How did I
Comfort.
forget about that.
Where this guy's basically building this utopia. At the same time, he's trying to freeze the entire world with Mr. Freeze's help, and also using his technology to build himself a suit so he can be immortal. And and basically, it's all he's Mr. Freeze is kind of doing it all.
This was actually one of the one-off movies that they did.
Yeah.
it was like an hour and a half long.
Sub-Zero. Yeah,
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero.
Yeah, and,
but basically, he's doing it all for his wife who has this disease and she's in a suspended animation. But, he's making all these wrong choices to save her. And it's very sad. I mean, and it made me really at the same time, you understand Mr. Freeze, why he's doing this. And Batman understands as well. And there's just a point where you're like, I can totally sympathize with this character, and I can't say if I was in that same situation, I would do the same thing.
The animated series really took Mr. Freeze, who's one of the shittiest villains
Yeah.
in Batman's Rogue Gallery,
Yeah.
and made him completely interesting and threatening.
Yeah.
and,
Well, they
I mean,
wrote
he
all
was
that
awesome.
pathos back into the comic books
Right.
as well.
Well,
Which-
I
Plus,
was
plus it
great.
had the Klingon leader from Day of the Dove doing the voice.
did it?
Yes.
Oh, and that guy, the
Michael
guy who
Ansara.
does the voice, I can't remember his name, Vic something.
I think Michael Ansara did it.
It's
in the-
Michael-
Is it?
it's Michael
Is it?
Ansara.
Okay, you're right. No, I'm thinking Victor Freeze.
Who's
Victor
Freeze.
Victor Freeze. That's the
Victor
guy's
Freeze.
name. But
Co-host, the name you're looking for is.
yeah, when
hey, chill out.
Schwarzenegger impression.
Oh no! You know what? The only part in that fucking Batman and Robin movie was the part that I almost cried, only because it took me back to the original.
Really? I cried
Mr.
through the
Freeze.
whole movie.
I did. Well, that's true
In
too.
pain.
Yeah, but when he
I
realized
cried
that.
to the ticket booth about how I wanted my money back.
Yeah, when he
I was crying because I was hitting my hand repeatedly with a hammer to distract myself.
for the obvious reason. But the part when they actually tried to put in some of that story element into that Batman and Robin
Yeah.
movie about him saving his wife,
so
where-
ham-handedly done.
Yeah, so yes, yeah, and it was a damn shame. But Cold Comfort, I really love that. Even it was really cool to see them bring back Mr. Freeze in the Batman Beyond episode where they
Oh, right.
actually
Oh, that's
right.
that
That's
was a
right.
great Batman Beyond episode where they basically they somehow managed the technology at the time they managed to give him a whole new body.
Yeah, a lot of
And-
people
and-
look past Batman Beyond,
Yeah.
which was done by the exact same crew,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's an excellent
No,
cartoon
when
as
you
well.
get to Justice League Unlimited, all that Batman Beyond stuff comes back into
Oh,
play.
does
yeah.
it really?
And it's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
it's great.
absolutely.
Oh, you haven't
It is
seen it?
badass.
No, I
Oh,
barely watched
okay,
it.
let me tell you
The
this.
Justice League
Justice
pays
League
off.
Unlimited, yeah,
It
goes
pays
back.
off on Superman. It pays off on Batman. It pays off on Batman Beyond. It's
and Teen
like-
Titans.
Wow.
They were really lucky because they got an extra season that they did not think they were going to get, and so they were like, "Shit, man, let's just tie up all loose ends in the DC universe," and they do it magnificently.
in the DC animated universe.
Yeah,
so
Yeah,
far.
even
Wow.
Static Shock plays a role.
Wow, it's like Lance Hendrickson in the 7th season of the X-Files.
I suppose so. But one thing I was going to say about Mr. Freeze before I'm sure we got to close this out. But that very first episode with him, Heart of Ice, where they made him such a great, multidimensional, sympathetic villain,
Yeah.
that pretty much rewrote the template for how villains are done. Like especially in movies, like you see, like
Right.
every superhero movie, they show you the villain's side. Like even like to almost, I would almost say to a detriment. Like in Spider-Man 2, one of the things I don't like about it is how they make Dr. Octopus go out of their way to try to make him sympathetic. Where in the comics, Dr. Octopus was never a sympathetic guy. I mean, he was just
Which is why I thought it worked for the second movie, because
Yeah.
that was the only time I gave a shit about.
I was just like,
Dr.
that's
Octopus.
that ain't Doc Ock.
Well, you gotta know when to use that card and when not to. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze, like, I love that he was so sympathetic.
Yes.
But I loved in the new Batman movies how they kept pretending like they were going to give you Joker's
Yeah, oh, yeah,
backstory,
yeah.
and they didn't.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
no, I do not ever want a backstory of Joker,
Yeah.
period.
No, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why he's so great. You,
Yeah.
you have no
even if
fucking
the
idea
comics
why.
actually have a backstory, as far as new versions of him, he's so much scarier when he's just a force of nature.
Yeah, you
Well-
have no idea why he's the way he is, and that's
Yeah.
why I love him. But
Yeah.
yeah, the other characters, it works great.
And it's part of one of the reasons that the Joker is such a great antithesis to Batman. I mean, he's opposite in every way, and Batman's origin is so firm. His parents got shot in front of him, and the Joker's origin is like, I don't know, I was just feeling crazy one
part
day.
of
Maybe.
Part of the reason why Kristen's ex-boyfriend sucked too.
Damn,
I'm
you had to
just
throw that in there,
saying.
didn't you?
I'm trying to be your therapist here. I'm trying to help.
So, what are you doing
Yeah.
Friday night?
Actually, honestly, maybe
see, Allison would date the Joker, but Kristen would date a guy who'd be like, "Sweetheart, you've been on my ass, and I finally got a job. I'm working for this guy.
Oh, so the
he's
Riddler.
a little out there, and he likes to wear white makeup."
I did henchman, God! You know what? I have a side story. I'll try and keep it short. But in film school and senior project class, we were all looking at each other's scripts, and there was one guy we just fucking hated the shit out of. Hated this guy. Anyway, he presents us this script, and in the script are the scene where someone's pearl necklace gets ripped off, and the pearls drop down. And I was like, wow, are you writing Batman? He's like, I'm not fucking writing Batman. I'm like, that's the fucking Batman story. That is Batman. He's like, I've never even seen Batman. No, this is something totally different. I was like, you're an asshole. I'm telling you right now, this is Batman. And anyway, this guy did not go on to create films. I think he joined the Navy or something. So
Good.
Batman was Frank Miller.
Okay, we're moving to the next question from Genova Pooh, who says,
Oh, your little girlfriend.
Hello, Genova.
Oh, she sent Bo stuff too.
Yeah, no. She's
Her last name is Pooh?
Really?
I think it's like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not
Wait.
like Two Girls, One Cup.
Stop it!
God.
I didn't want to go there.
Stop it!
Jesus.
I didn't want to go there, Cyrus, but you did, and thank you.
You're gross.
Not like that.
Hey,
So it was a poop reference I didn't make in a way.
look, it's natural, all right?
Ask the goddamn question. I have to clean my brain
That's
now.
nature in progress.
Just like
Pooh with an H at the end implies like a huggable bear.
Yes.
So, yes.
which is confusing at
Or,
times, but
Honey of
a
some
shit
sort.
bear.
Yeah.
No.
I always think of it as
Belly.
like a fucked up Animal Planet episode or something. I don't know.
a brown bear. We'll settle
There you
on
go,
that.
a brown bear.
Yellow bear.
But
No.
Genova Pooh with
Leon
an
is
H
brown bear.
says, no, he's Chocolate Bear. Says, since I broke down and brought Cyrus Howl's Moving Castle, and thank you once again. Yes.
Another goddamn.
As a
whore.
result, I would like to know which of Miyazaki's movies you all like the most. And yes, this will be our discussion of anime
There you
for
go.
this
That's
episode.
that was the same
Well,
answer.
we said we would make the exception for Miyazaki.
Yeah, and to be fair, I'm not entirely sure he should even be called anime, really.
He's beyond. He's beyond
so
that
transcends
genre.
the
Yeah.
genre of anime. He's like Walt Disney, really.
He is.
in
Yeah,
his
he
own
is.
way, you
He
know?
is.
Yeah,
Period.
I don't think we should slap him with any title. Like,
Yeah.
he's
No.
better than that.
He's his own
He's
thing.
better than Disney. Honestly,
Yeah,
I've
I was
seen
gonna
more.
say, Disney was trying to
Yeah.
pander to a certain, family demographic where Miyazaki makes the movies he wants to make,
And
it-
they're astonishing.
if I would
Yeah.
if I would compare him to anybody, it might be Brad Bird.
I was gonna say,
What
which,
was that? I missed that.
which of his movies do you like the most? I'm gonna go with Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. I mean, I know that's really dark
Haven't seen
for
it.
one of his. It's one of the earlier ones, and it's just. I mean, okay, yeah, it's environmental based, like so many of his movies are, but it's so bizarre and inventive, and it's like these whole culture of people who are living sort of in a post-apocalyptic world where this plant virus has sort of taken over. It's hard to explain.
No, it
but
was the
it's
very
just-
first one I saw.
yeah, it's gorgeous and moving and just so innovative that there's really nothing else to compare it to. Not even any other Miyazaki film, really.
Well, it kind of reminded me of what my answer is, which was the very next Miyazaki film I ever saw, which is Laputa, which is also been it's redistributed over here, known as Castle in the Sky.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love. It's one of my all-time favorite animated movies, and it's got the long arm robot, which was inspired by the long arm robots from the Max Fleischer Superman cartoon.
Yeah.
But it was a huge influence on the design of the Iron Giant. And you'll see it in other different things. And the movie, the Disney animated Atlantis, is a total ripoff of
yeah,
this
it is.
movie. Yeah, it's just like, come on, guys. I mean, it's bad enough you ripped off Kimba the White Lion, but with this, you're not even obscuring it at all.
Yeah, very
But no, to me, just Castle in the Sky is such a great adventure. Even better translated with Mark Hamill doing the voice of the villain so perfectly.
I love when he does voice work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play traditional. Spirited Away. It just works for me on
Amazing.
so many levels.
It's his Alice in Wonderland.
It is his Alice in Wonderland, and also, as I've stated before many times, I love stuff that has dream logic. You know, and that's totally, it's just like, oh, it's Radish God. Of course it's Radish God. I'm going to take it for granted because I'm in a dream. And she's kind of crossed over into this fantasy realm, and that kind of stuff just always captivates me, and it's so beautifully done.
It's the #1 movie that makes me wish I had grown up in Japan.
Yeah.
Because it's so great even here. But the fact that it's based on really the traditional mythos and culture stuff from Japan that we don't have the first idea about,
Sure.
makes me wish I had grown up with that stuff so it would be a fairy tale movie in the sense that it seems like it was intended.
Exactly, yeah. No, and plus, I mean, it's... all of his movies are beautiful, but I just think there's just something about Spirited Away that just is eye-popping beyond a lot of his other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even though I love everything he's done,
Right.
but
Yeah, no, even his like non-fantasy films are very well done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for me, Spirited Away for sure. And two of the things I love about the movie, I learned things in that movie about Japanese culture I wouldn't have any idea about, and I didn't know anything about Shintos before. And I actually had some friends who went to Japan and went to a Shinto, and I was very excited because I'm like, oh, like it's Spirited Away. But when that dragon is flying, I swear I just cry because the animation of that dragon flying is so phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is just beautiful, and you don't see a lot of animated Asian dragons flying, and they nailed it. It's perfect. So yeah, it's just such a beautifully done film.
There is one better animated dragon. And I'm going to say right now it's Beowulf. The only other animated dragon I thought was better than the one that was the dragon from Beowulf.
Oh, the new
the
3D
new Beowulf,
3D.
which is just
Horrible
so.
film?
No, see, I really
Yeah,
liked it.
I dug it.
I dug that movie a lot.
But
I was like, they need to make He-Man already.
even if you didn't like the film, you got to admit that dragon was astonishing. It was just like
I remember
jaw
the
dropping.
freaking dragon.
amazing.
That's
The underwater
I didn't know how I was
scene
going to feel
and-
about the
oh.
movie, and I was like, man, I think I love this
Yeah.
thing.
My
Yeah,
problem with Beowulf is this. It's that they were like, oh, well, we're rated, whatever. We can do whatever the fuck we want. So they really exploited that aspect. Oh, this guy's naked. Oh, there's some sex. And it was not necessary. And I was like, it turned me off. I'm like, this could have been extra fucking cool.
Naked animated guys don't turn you on?
Yeah, there's a
wrong with
naked.
But there was no reason for it.
There's a CG naked.
Well, he's naked.
There was
He's-
no
he-
reason.
Hey,
looking better than
it's
she's
hot.
ever looked.
Oh, she looked great, but there was not enough motivation for what they did, and also Grindel. They fucking ruined Grindel.
Oh, see, I don't
But
agree.
that is
Really?
not
Yeah.
Grindel. He is
I
a
don't
fuzzy monster. He's not some retarded, I'm half human mutant golem guy.
I agree to
Oh,
disagree.
hated it.
Yeah.
Hated
I
it.
thought he was cool.
Hated it.
And there's
Well-
nothing wrong with Beowulf freeballing, all right? So,
Beowulf is one of those myths that's been reinterpreted 1,000 times.
and
You
you
can't
know,
go,
it's an
"Well,
old-
not like the original. Well,
Yeah.
none of the
What about the 13th
interpretations are
Warrior?
like the original.
Yeah, I mean, Beowulf, he is going to be retold many, many, many times. But that particular time, I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not doing it for me.
now, did you see it in 3D?
No.
Oh,
At
see,
the
there you
IMAX?
go.
No, I
Yeah.
saw it
When
in
you had those
photos.
Jolie boobs popping out.
Yeah. Oh my God! Now
Oh,
seeing it
my
3D
God.
because I saw it on. I rented it, but when I saw it in 3D, holy jeebus!
Yeah.
And when I saw it in
More like double
3D,
D.
when I saw it on 3D, damn it!
It was too obvious.
Oh,
If I had arms and hands, I'd slap you. But no, when I saw it in 3D, wow! When I saw it in 3D on weed,
Oh,
wow!
You see
I always
it
tell my
on
friends, you ever seen
weed.
Beowulf on weed?
so did you have a Miyazaki answer?
Everyone took away all my
Oh,
have
no.
to.
Somebody
You
Spirit
gotta
away
change
for the obvious. But a little smaller film that nobody's mentioned was Totoro.
Oh, yeah.
My Neighbor's
friend,
Totoro.
The first time somebody was watching it, and I caught the scene where the cat bus, and I was like, I have to watch this fucking movie. I have to watch it from beginning to end. That scene is just awesome. I
Of
love
all
that
his
scene.
films, that's the one I most want stuffed versions of the characters from.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. You do want that.
Yeah.
Fuck that! I
No.
just want a cat bus.
Yeah, and the cat bus.
Drive that shit
Yeah.
everywhere. Come on.
Even though I'm still trying to wrap my head around the whole concept of that film, I love it. I can just watch it just for the cat
Yeah.
bus scene. But
That's probably
the girls are endearing in that film.
Yeah.
Especially the camaraderie with the sisters. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I know it sounds a little bit fruity right now coming from me, but it was cool. And I keep telling myself that's what it must be like to have a family.
Compassion for human emotions.
Family.
Gay.
That doesn't seem gay. It's
This
more
is-
pedophilic than anything else.
What? They're sisters. What are you talking
It's
about?
co-host going,
Oh,
why
me.
do you
Oh, me
cry?
liking it.
Yeah. You cried.
I don't know why did you cry. This is something I can never do. Goodbye, John Connor. Thumbs up.
I had fun being a really weird teddy bear.
Hey, was it me or did Batman ruin the whole thumbs up deal? And Batman, no, is it Batman Forever? When he there's a scene in Batman Forever where he's in the I guess the bat plane, and he looks down at Robin, and he gives him a thumbs up. Oh no, he looks at Commissioner Gordon. That they have the bat signal up. He's like, "Oh, I guess he's not coming. Shut it down." And all of a sudden, you hear the music start to swell up. Dun, 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 dun. And then the
I can
fucking
hear his theme.
the Batman playing. Yeah, I can hear the theme. That must mean
We tried to get co-host to hum the real Batman theme, but we couldn't get the rights. So sorry about that, everyone.
And he looks down at Commissioner Gordon and gives him a thumbs up.
Yeah, right. Looking down, giving a thumbs like, I
Yeah.
hope you can see this.
And you see Commissioner with the worst fucking like hip hop hooray, like hooray, hooray! He's like waving at Batman, like, hooray!
He's gonna. I never thought I'd say this. I wish Michael Keaton would come back.
I know.
Fucking Val Kilmer. How far we've fallen.
Hey, man.
I thought he was a good Batman. I thought he was a horrible Bruce Wayne, but that's me.
Yeah, I think they were all horrible Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, they underwrote the Bruce Wayne part.
Yeah,
It
well, it wasn't about being Bruce Wayne with
was about
those
being
movies.
Batman.
It was about being Batman, which is why those movies aren't as good.
Folks, we've just jumped on a tangent.
Yes, we did, but it was a good
I
tangent.
went
We'll
to
go back.
the bathroom,
Yes,
but
it was
Silly's
awesome.
back to Batman again. What the
You know,
hell?
if Grant was here, it would find its way back to Lost.
Lost,
Since
it
he's
was.
not, it will find its way back
Ooh,
to Batman.
you know what's a good
If
thing
we-
about Lost?
If we flash back to the first season of Leon, we'd all be talking about Spider-Man.
Yeah, there
That's
you go.
true.
What are
That's
you gonna
true.
do?
How upset we are. Yeah, I'm intentionally avoiding at Comic-Con any panels with Joe Quesada because I'm just afraid of what will come out of
Rotten
me.
swine!
Ooh, are you guys gonna go to the Dollhouse special screening?
No, because they already sent me the disc from it, so
Oh.
I'm just going to watch it here.
Mr.
Can I
Fancy
watch it
Pants
with
over
you?
here.
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
Yeah, I gotta be
Oh
honest.
wait, we saw a girl last night at the Jackalope who looked just like Eliza Dushku. I mean,
So she wasn't actually Eliza Dushku?
when she got closer, I was like, "Oh, that's not actually." But I mean, for 15 minutes there, I was utterly convinced I was 15 feet from the.
She has a birthmark on her face. Gross.
But she wasn't. She wasn't. But
Would you have made out with this girl despite being a heterosexual because she looked that much like Eliza Dushku?
from afar, yes. Once she got up close, when I realized she
I
wasn't.
didn't realize
no.
your tongue was that long. What are you doing this
I was
weekend?
like, damn, how do you do that?
Dude, she is hot.
Wow. Can I watch?
All right.
have money.
Enough
I want to give a
sexism.
mirrored, one of those mirrored, like.
It's a good thing we're not sexist.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're not sexist. That's true.
You guys can play catch with me.
So we'll read a question.
Oh, you know that ping pong ball trick?
Oh, God.
Now you go too far, Leo.
Oh, now I went too far.
Yeah.
Not you, Kristen. I meant the other girl.
We would never.
I was talking about the elephant Elijah Dushku.
I'm not implying that
Yeah.
you're a tie
Hey,
whore.
either
I'll
either
just have the
yeah,
paddle, right? I'll have the paddle and
Yes.
be like, "Ba-ding."
Kristen. Either way, yeah. Either way, I'm cool with it.
We would never, ever here at Leog disparage your vagina. I'm just saying. Okay.
You should glorify it, not the
We
I
do.
do. I do.
We
You
do.
should see my shrine.
You don't hear the discussions we have on it when you're not around.
And that Kristen's her pussy.
I
but it's
pray to
fabulous.
her vagina.
But none of us know for sure.
Wait,
Wink,
you
wink.
have a vagina?
It's a mystery, and it won't be solved until the third season of Leon. All right,
Kristen is the coolest girl ever.
Ghost Rider
I'll
asks,
agree with that.
okay, I won't embarrass myself with questions about cartoons that were made before you were born, and thank you for that. Do any of you have a favorite voice actor? How do you feel about all the celebrities who do voiceover work to help sell the movie? So I'm not actually the biggest voice actor guy, but
I
I know
am.
that you guys
I am.
are.
Oh, yeah, me
So,
too.
you know,
Yeah, I am.
I'm just
I got
going
a
to
few,
throw
yeah.
this out in y'all's court, and you
I have
guys run
several.
with
I have
it.
many.
So somebody go.
Okay,
I mean,
do you let me borrow
Kristen.
Venture Brothers?
yes.
And it took me a while before I realized it, but one of the first things I noticed, I'm like, man, I love the voice acting on Brock. That is so fantastic.
That'd be Patrick Warburton.
It wasn't a while until I actually, the credits run really fast, so it wasn't a while. I'm like, oh my god, I know who that is.
There's a button on the remote called pause. You
Yeah.
can always use that.
No, I let you read real fast.
Well, and the thing was,
perfect.
you never thought of him as a voice actor until the Emperor's New Groove, where he practically stole the movie.
He does such a good
Yeah.
job. He knows exactly how to nail lines. So, yeah, he was perfect. Mark Hamill's a Joker. Who does not love fucking Mark Hamill?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, and then I'm going to get back to my nerdy 7th grade. When I was very obsessed with the Disney Afternoon, there was a voice actor named Jim Cummings, and he did the voice for almost all the characters. He did Don Carnage on Tailspin, he did Darkwing Duck, he did Winnie the Pooh. He did a lot of the main characters, and he could do anything. And
Wow.
I remember, like, actually, that's when I first got into voice acting as a kid. I'm like, this guy does everything, because I saw his name pop up all the
Yeah.
time. And so I loved that guy because he did all my favorite characters.
Wow.
Awesome.
Indeed.
I'd say right offhand, Billy West and Maurice LaMarche.
Yes.
These
Billy
are
West.
two guys from the Futurama.
Damn it, you stole my answer with
sorry.
Maurice LaMarche.
Two of the guys from the Futurama cast, but if you go like IMDb these guys and look at their stuff, they've done everything. Like
Yeah, I
any
was-
cartoon since 1990.
Okay, have you heard the latest news?
yeah, that I was going to say this
Oh, that
too.
they're going to re-voice cast?
Yeah, like
Futurama?
all the cast, yeah, from Futurama 1.
Yes.
Because Comedy Central doesn't pay shit.
Yeah.
And now that they have Futurama, their voice actors are like, well, this is what we want to make on it. And they're like, ooh,
Oh, no,
we don't
no,
have that.
no,
So
you
they're
can't
completely
replace them.
recasting
Yeah.
Futurama.
No.
Well, they're actually sending out feelers right now. You can tell when a bunch of sites are like, they're talking about this. What do you guys think? And that's what several sites are putting out.
Nearly
They're
everybody's
sending
going,
out
this
feelers.
sounds like a horrible, horrible
Which is
fucking
what
idea."
you would
That's
expect,
terrible.
but I think they're looking to see those people who are going, you know what, is it really going to make that much difference? And honestly, I think it will. I think
Oh,
much
yeah.
of the
Oh,
character
hell
of the
yeah.
show
Yeah.
is them.
Big.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
a huge difference. In fact, like when you watch a cartoon, they suddenly switch on you, and you're like, "What the fuck is that shit? Who is this?"
Well, not only
Yeah.
that, but like you get guys like Billy West and Hank Azaria and Dan Castellaneta.
Castellaneta.
Yeah, who do multiple voices. I mean, like within
They
your
are the
series,
show.
yeah, they are the show. You take them away, you don't have a show anymore.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like between Billy West and Maurice LaMarche, that's like nearly half of all of the voices that have ever been on Futurama ever.
Yeah.
And then there's like Katie Seagal, and I think they bring in
God, what's her name? I know
what's
you're
her
talking
name?
about.
been in plenty of stuff. Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue, and I apologize to her if she's listening.
I've had too many whiskeys.
Uh,
Sorry.
Excuses,
But,
excuses.
and I'd also like to give a shout out, especially you guys are going to be at Comic Con where she is going to be there to sign interviews. But June Foray, who is
Oh, no
the
kidding.
first lady of
Cartoon Voices.
Cartoon Voices, voice of Rocky the Squirrel from
Oh,
yeah.
Bullwinkle.
Uh,
Just about any she's the voice of Granny from Warner Brothers.
Any female on a Warner Brothers cartoon, it's her voice.
Aw.
Did you hear her on Howard Stern?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's fucking.
She's
awesome.
she's a
Yeah.
really funny lady, very cool. If you are going to Comic Con, try to check her out.
No,
if
but
you
she's.
can.
You said Bullwinkle the squirrel. I mean, no,
Rocky
no,
the
Rocky
Squirrel.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was born. I was created out of the
Unprogrammed.
but
Ovulated.
but no, she was on Howard Stern and she did this like real perverted like Rocky Bullwinkle skit.
really?
It's priceless. You should
Well,
try to look for it on the net.
She can.
Hey, Rocky, guess what I'm going to pull the rabbit out of this
She's
time?
She's not under contract anymore.
That's
so,
right.
Oh yeah, she was awesome when she did it. I was shocked when I heard the shit that was coming out of her mouth, but it was awesome. You should find that.
Damn it, bo's driving me nuts because she does the voice of the
Wikipedia?
girlfriend
What do you
on
need? What
Ben
do you need?
10.
I
No,
keep
I'm
on
sorry.
wanting to say like
Wikipedia that
go
bitch.
To the IMDb page for Futurama.
She's the girlfriend on Batman Beyond. She's the girlfriend on Ben 10.
Oh, who's that?
So she plays the girlfriend.
Oh,
Yeah.
did she play the Asian girl in
yeah,
Batman
yeah,
Beyond?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I don't know her name.
I don't know if she did the voice of
Bum,
Angela.
bum,
No, she wasn't
bum,
Angela
bum,
Chen on
bum,
Superman, but
Bum, bum.
damn it. And she's a voice of
Lauren Tom.
Lauren. Thank you.
Yes.
Like Khan's wife on King of the Hill.
Yeah, she's another one that like you go to her IMDb page and she's just
Wow.
she's on King of the Hill.
Oh, she is Angela Chen. Okay.
Yeah, she's King of the Hill, Futurama, Pinky the Brain.
There was a show called
Ghostbusters.
Extreme Ghostbusters. What was that?
I don't
Oh,
know,
yeah.
but you had like real
think I
Ghostbusters and the
remember
original
that.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
she got her
Extreme. That was the. I think that's the Filmation.
She got her
Ghostbusters.
start doing the newscaster in Superman the animated series.
Right, Angela Chen.
Wait!
Yeah.
I still can't get over this Extreme Ghostbusters. This is like the Warner Brothers
You
thing
didn't-
where they
Okay,
just
like, click
were
on
they
it,
just
dude.
all covered with
Click on
sharp
it.
angles? Is that
Just
what
click
happened?
on
Just
it.
like
Yeah,
Oh,
it's right
you know what?
there, yeah.
And if you want to see her, she's in the Bad Santa.
I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't see this.
She's the midget's wife.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Extreme
That's bad.
Ghostbusters. That was.
Say goodbye to that.
It's on the Disney
Filmation, I
Channel.
think.
Because you see the little Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah, that would be why things are terribly
That's why
wrong.
we didn't watch it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Did Leon? Did you?
Well, Bo took my answer of Maurice LaMarche, but as far as other voice actors go, I'm a big fan of, and he didn't do a lot, but Gerald Moore. And you guys are gonna look at me and go like, who?
Who is that?
And here we have to go into the
Is he dead?
we have to go into the Wayback Machine for Gerald Moore.
Oh
Oh wait, am I not allowed to talk about 60s
Which is appropriate
cartoons?
because Ghost Rider asked the question. So
Oh,
go ahead.
okay.
Yeah.
Gerald Moore was known for he got to be a famous actor, well, somewhat famous, because he had such a look. He looked so much like Humphrey Bogart, and he was the voice of Philip Marlowe on the radio.
Oh, wow.
And he did the voice of Reed Richards in the old Hanna-Barbera Fantastic Four cartoon, and the
good
voice
Lord.
of Green Lantern in the old Green Lantern
Filmation,
Filmation cartoons.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
And I just love that voice he had when he went, Johnny! No, Ben, you can't do that.
I always picture him as nerdier than that. I'm just saying.
I wish I had thought about this because I would have given you Maurice LaMarche and because I also wanted to say Stan Freberg.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
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 I mean, amazing. If nothing else, just for Pete the Puma in the Warner Brothers cartoons.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah.
In fact, nearly any male voice that isn't Mel Blanc is
Right.
pretty much Stan
Okay,
Freberg.
yeah.
He just doesn't get credited because that's what Mel Blanc's contract said.
Right.
He had a good lawyer.
He did.
He had a good lawyer and a big ego.
I was gonna say, shouldn't Seth Green or somebody like that be voicing Reed Richards? You know, he's supposed to be a nerd.
Yes,
I don't
but
want a macho voice.
He's
I want
a
I
nerd,
love
but he's
Seth
also
Green.
older.
Yeah, but
I love him.
and he's the man. He's like the manly 1960s scientist, pipe in his mouth scientist. He's not like
What,
Yeah,
like,
that-
like Bob from the Subgenius Scientist?
No, like Dr.
very much. Yeah, Bob
that's why,
actually looks a lot like Reed Richards was originally drawn.
That's why Stephen Colbert was so perfect for voicing
Yeah.
Dr. Impossible, the Reed Richards, parody. on
Sure,
the Venture
sure,
Brothers.
sure. Okay, fair enough.
Damn it, Sue! I can't talk about your dresses right now. Got to work on the negative zone.
Which is actually almost exactly what the original comic
Yeah,
book
that's
was
actually
like.
pretty much verbatim dialogue.
It's funny. You can do a parody of how sexist those cartoons were. I mean, those comic books were.
Yeah.
And then go read the actual thing and go like,
Oh, that's not a parody.
yeah, it's not a parody
No,
at all.
no, that's pretty much exactly it. Yeah. Co-host?
I will say, and this is obviously coming from the Batman universe, the Batman and Superman universe once again. Michael Ironside as Darkseid.
Oh, okay.
He probably had by far the greatest villain lines ever. It's like, people of Earth, you have no choice but to prepare for a long, dark future.
Wait, was that Michael Ironside or the Humongous?
That was more humongous. He always, we do it my way. My dog. Just go. Just go. Just walk away. Just walk away. We do it my way. Anyway, him.
Ooh, and I thought of another favorite voice actor. Me.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yet to actually get any work, but just imagine.
Hey, I've got a bigger IMDb page than you.
Wait, he's
Gravely
not one?
disappointed.
Prove it! Internet me.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, we'll let Co-host continue
well,
to answers while I
Michael
force
Ironside
the-
as Darkseid, one of the greatest villains in the DC
Yes.
animated universe, along with the voice actor, and I forget now.
Kevin Conroy?
No. Well, Kevin Conroy. He's one, but
Tim Daly?
the guy, Mr. Freeze.
Oh, Michael and Sarah.
Michael and Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy is incredible. Yes. Another character who had probably one of the best villain lines in that series as far as just his dialogue. Everything every time he spoke, it was so empowering, and you just felt threatened.
It's true. You felt threatened and you felt for him.
Yeah.
Next question.
Next question is from Christian Alvarez. He tries to throw a bunch of different questions into one question, and I just want to answer one thing because he asked, "What do we think about the Buffy animated series?" And guess what? There
It
wasn't
technically exists.
Buffy animated.
There wasn't a Buffy
series.
animated series, and if there was one, do you know who was going to be the writer for it? Jeff fucking Loeb. So that tells you what we think about the fucking Buffy animated
You
series.
actually can find the pilot episode somewhere on the internet. I will say this, though, what was interesting about the idea of it, and it was that they integrated Dawn into it. So technically nothing in this animated series actually happened because it's all false memories. Because they included Dawn in it. So she was never there.
and that's how we shall remember it.
Wait, I don't understand though. So this was stuff that happened before season 4.
It was
of
high
Buffy,
school.
then?
It was like it was them in the very beginning years of high school because Angel's still
So
in
they
it.
were all imaginary memory. Okay,
so
I
yeah,
get
so
that.
but they included Dawn in it too. So that therefore means it's not technically it never happened.
no, that's funny. Okay, well, I'm glad it never happened. Period.
The
So,
I will say what I've seen from it, it looked like it could have been a good idea. I liked the character
I
design.
like the character design too, from what I saw.
but
from
at
that.
the same time, do we really need a Buffy animated series?
no, we needed a new live
Yes.
action series.
Yeah.
Aren't you getting a new movie? What are you guys bitching about?
No, we're not getting a new fucking movie.
Yeah, you are.
Fuck that
It's
shit.
gonna be the new Harry
down.
Potter series.
Nah, fuck
It's gonna be
that.
cool.
Fuck that
on.
shit.
No, bad Leon, no biscuit.
Because he loves biscuits.
Hey, thank you, by the way,
doesn't
Cyrus,
love
with
this?
the
Get a new move.
thank you for the Hack Slash movie news. As far
Oh
as
yeah, no,
getting
it's
a director.
Yeah, apparently there's actually finally movement on
Finally.
the Hack Slash film, so that's exciting.
Even
for
though I am a
co-hosts.
little terrified who they're going to cast as Casey Hack.
Who are they?
I was Megan Fox was gunning for the role. Apparently, that's just the rumor, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
As much as I think
become
she would look
more-
hot, I don't know. don't know.
I become more firmly convinced that woman is an idiot every time she opens her mouth.
Well, I did.
She was smart enough to say like, these Transformers movies are shit.
I was about
Michael
to
Bay
say,
going like,
yeah.
she's a dumb girl. She don't know what she's talking about. Like, no, that's the smartest thing she ever said.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
agree
true.
with that. I was just about to say that. But she won some extra cool points in my book, but
Yeah.
that's me.
No,
Yeah.
I'll give her props for that.
I'll still do her. I don't care.
It's, I'm just reminded of a terribly sexist joke, but I won't even make
We're
it
not
there.
Oh, but you don't
here.
We're
want
not
to say it.
sexist.
No, we're
so,
not.
well, I have to examine the opposition just to know what
Analyze it.
to avoid.
He's setting those boundaries.
Because otherwise I'd make a joke like, "What's the smartest thing that ever came out of Megan Fox's mouth?"
No, God, no,
I'm not going to answer that.
Hi-yo!
Is that sexist though, or just that we
No.
just don't like Megan
just
Fox?
crude.
That's just individual.
I'm pretty sure it's
bias.
sexist.
That's picking on a girl who never did anything to you.
That's true. I actually don't have anything against Megan Fox. I'd like to hold something against her, but I don't have anything against her.
Yes,
Hey, look, there's Mary over there nodding her
Oh,
head.
Mary's like,
Rolling
me
her eyes.
too.
What a dope.
All right. So Aaron asks, what are your favorite animated movies that were based on TV shows? And obviously Buffy the Vampire Slayer is not one of them. I thought the All in the Family cartoon was exceptional. They were able to do stuff they couldn't do in live action.
What
you know?
are
Star
these
Trek.
cartoons that are
Yeah.
On
okay?
TV.
Okay, that's one based on a TV show. But
Movies?
What's another one?
Yeah, movies though.
there aren't a lot.
Entire movies
On TV. Well,
I mean,
Wait,
okay,
what was the question
you know what?
again?
My answer is the Flintstones because it was based on the Honeymooners.
yeah.
In fact, pretty much
But that's not
every
an animated
Hanna-Barbera Hanna-Barbera cartoon about a family was based on the Honeymooners.
Well, we'll just say animated whatever based on a live
Yeah, it says
action
animated
TV
movie.
show. Yeah, but we'll
animated
just,
movie
we'll
based
just
on
turn-
a
movie
based on a TV
based on
show?
a TV show, and I can't think of a one that actually.
I
just
Think of
mutate
one.
that to animated whatever
Animated
movie,
movies that were
TV
based
show.
on TV shows?
I don't. Are there any? I'm confused.
Different Strokes? Didn't they have a...
No, God! Why hasn't someone done that yet? What's he talking about?
If there hasn't. Mr.
No?
T?
No,
Wasn't he?
Mr. T. Oh yeah, that wasn't
Wasn't
Mr.
he
T
someone
cartoon?
based on
Mr. T.
B.A.
Oh,
Baraka?
you know the theme to the Mr. T.
No, no, that's
cartoon.
the
That's the A team. He's just singing Mr. T. To
Well, no, I
dun,
understand.
dun, dun.
Whoa, hey, we
It's
don't
just
want to
that-
owe Mike Post any money.
It's just that he can't sing, so I didn't know that's what.
What do you
it was,
mean?
that's all.
What do you mean, Mr. Wait, you're saying Mr. T can't sing?
No, Mr. I'm
Yeah,
not.
fool.
No, Leon can't sing.
I'm not accusing Mr. T of anything.
Mr. T sing fine.
Mr. T is awesome.
Oh, where'd my mic go?
Treat your mother right.
He's actually
Treat her right.
He's actually a
Treat
Profundo
your mother
Basso.
right.
Have you?
And drugs.
I heard him
Have
sing
y'all
at the Boston
seen-
Pops once. What?
Have y'all seen that thing? It's Mr. T. Oh God, what is it? It's a whole.
The Mr. T shuffle.
No, it's an entire feel good video.
Yeah.
And I cannot.
No, I've
remember.
So
seen
that's where the song came from.
Yeah.
Treat
I
your mother
cannot
right.
remember-
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love. He's like, hey, you there with the teeth. I was like, really? With the teeth?
As opposed to
Everyone should
Oh,
look
I know
up.
what it's called. Be somebody or be somebody's fool.
Yeah.
Go find a copy.
And that's where they had the Mr. T fashion show. Where
Yes!
they brought out the kids with
Yes!
the.
that's
It
from
is
his album
enchanting.
Toothy and the Gummy Ones.
look at Tracy. She's wearing a wonderful combination of the ruffles and the.
I posit
Colored
that this
socks.
question is unanswerable because it has never occurred.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're going to move on
we
to
need
the
more
eccentric,
info.
which is actually what I meant to read in the first place. Which says, "Hey League, I was wondering what are your favorite DC or Marvel animated movie?" And I'm just going to say right here, The New Frontier from DC
Yes.
is by far my
Yes.
favorite animated film from either one of those companies. It's a absolutely brilliant reimagining of their origin story of the Justice League of America, while still staying pretty close to the original story.
Coolest golden age of
Yeah.
DC animated
If
feature.
if you've
ever.
never ever
Silver
thought
Age,
that you
actually.
could
Silver,
get,
you're right, Silver Age.
if you
yeah.
never thought you could get into like classic superhero stuff, like early stuff, this is the thing that's going to change your mind and make you want to go read all that early stuff.
Unfortunately, I am when it comes to that, I am like all those obnoxious Harry Potter fans who could only focus on what's not included. So
Are you really?
I really am, and it pains me to be that way. But I am. When I watch the
Pains me
movie,
too.
When I watched the New Frontier movie, all I could think about was all the cool shit and all the important stuff that's not in there, and how it didn't give me that same feeling.
Quiet you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one day I'll come back to it and go like, "Oh, this is wonderful." But I keep coming back to Mask of the Phantasm. I look
Really?
at it and it's kind of dated, and yet
A great Batman
it's
origin.
still it was a great. I mean, up until Batman Begins, it was the best Batman origin that had been
You're
done.
you're
ever.
absolutely right about that. I will agree to agree. Yes. Anybody else?
Kristen, you
I
got
thought
an
Return of the Joker was pretty good too, though.
Return of the Joker was badass.
if you
the
watch the
uncut
unrated
version
one,
of it.
Yeah.
because when I watched the one that was edited, I was like, it's okay, I guess. And then co-host lent me the uncut one,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I thought like, I don't see how this could be much better. And in one scene, I was like, oh my god, this changes the whole thing.
Yeah. No,
It was
is
great.
much
Yeah.
better.
Kristen, you're staring at me. What's?
Because I'm listening to what you have to say.
Oh, I
He's
know.
not talking
Is that
anymore.
okay?
but-
Yeah,
I'll
no,
eat your liver.
He's not
with
used to it.
fava
Hey, you fall
beans.
over
I know.
there?
What, wait, somebody's listening to what I have to say.
I actually can't think of any animated movies from the DC or Marvel universe. I think of plenty of live action.
Have you seen the Wonder Woman?
No.
Pretty good.
I enjoyed it.
I think
I
it's
enjoyed the hell out
excellent.
of it.
Okay.
I mean,
The Unleash Hell line.
I mean, honestly, when they always talk about a Wonder Woman movie and maybe Sandra Bullock playing him, I was like,
Ugh.
that's nice and all,
Ugh.
but I just don't see how you can pull off a Wonder Woman movie. There hasn't really, other than her being in the Justice League, there's never been like one like run of hers that I thought like this could appeal to all people, or I don't know how you would wrap your mind around this character to do that, develop it, and damn if they didn't do it. I mean, it goes back and forth between really all steeped in Greek mythology and war, or being like a romantic comedy between her and Steve Trevor,
Yeah.
voiced by Nathan Fillion,
Which I was about to
that does
say.
anything
You
for
know, that does lots for me.
He does. It's just a great use of Nathan Fillion for voice work. He was
I'll
so
tell you what great
perfectly
use
cast.
of Nathan Fillion is.
Calm down.
Wow, you really are one of us.
I know. I was gonna say.
So hot.
Damn.
Please send him my way.
So the next Leog will be the all shirtless Leog, where
Well,
Can we invite Mr. Fillion? He can be
we'll have a
shirtless
trough
any
where the
day.
women can throw up.
My favorite DC is New Frontier. So that's
Yeah?
that's-
Yeah,
Very
I
good.
got to chime
I
in on
can't-
that.
yeah.
Although I will say, to a combination of the two, if you will, in I believe the first season of Justice League Unlimited, they have a bit where it basically becomes Hawk Girl, Dr. Fate. Solomon Grundy and Aquaman. And if you are paying attention and you know your comic book history, you're like, oh my god, that's the Defenders.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
they write this really cool
Yeah.
Defenders story using those characters, and it's awesome.
I swear to God, I cannot believe I did not catch that until you brought
Yeah.
it up to me.
I was about to bring up the even though it's not technically a movie, but I think one of the last seasons of season 2, I believe, of Justice League Unlimited. With the Brainiac story,
Oh, yeah.
where Flash, they apparently
That's
the Justice
that's season
League-
1.
Oh, that's season
Yeah,
1.
yeah,
Okay,
season
where
1.
where
It's the very end.
where Flash kind of knew that in some alternate world he had died,
Yeah.
and that the last part of that where Flash kind of just makes the sacrifice to stop Brainiac, and he gets pulled into the Speed Force
was
realm.
this was the classic Barry West being pulled into that.
You mean
Barry
Barry
Allen.
Allen?
Sorry,
No,
Barry Allen.
in
It was
Justice,
Wa-
in the
it was Wally
Justice
West.
League DC universe. It's Wally West.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wally
okay.
West.
And
Because that's how
I-
Barry Allen went
yeah.
out.
Right. Yeah. Since you haven't watched it,
I have not.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much about it. But one thing I liked is that I had always complained, even from the start of the Justice League series into JLU, was that they always kind of like gave Flash the shaft. Like,
They
like
really
yeah.
turned him into the comic relief.
and him, he should be one of the most powerful guys, and yet every time he runs around to where you can still see him, and he gets tripped up every time. It's like he'd been one of the least effective members, while he should be one of the most powerful. And I always wanted to like stop Bruce Timm and say, like, dude, do you just hate the Flash? Did you not want to put him on the team? And in that episode, it's like they finally went, okay,
They
this is
make
what we've
him
been setting
shine.
him up
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is it.
And
They make him shine like you want to believe. And the cool thing is that, speaking of voice actors, he's voiced by Michael Rosenbaum,
Oh, okay.
who is
fantastic.
who's from TV Smallville, who plays Lex Luthor.
Sure.
He plays Flash in the Justice League, and he also plays Kid Flash in the Teen Titans. And he's awesome. He's awesome as the
Man,
Flash.
I cannot overestimate how incredible a job Andrea
Romano.
Romano, who is she is the casting director for all the DC Universe stuff, up to and including the Wonder Woman thing, which is the most recent release they've
all
had.
the DC Universe. Yeah,
They
animated.
get the best damn people to do
Yeah.
the roles, and I mean they're just perfectly fit. Like the elongated man is Jeremy Piven. It's just,
Oh, yeah.
it just
Oh,
fucking
Jesus.
works, man.
And that's the episode was great. Seeing elongated
Elongated man
and the
Booster
Flash.
Gold?
Yeah,
Oh.
and no. watching them play. They're playing Rock'em
Yeah,
Sock'em
they're playing Rock'em
Robots.
Sock'em Robots. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
and
just
that's like
beautiful.
it's just a small scene,
Oh,
but
speaking
it's
of which,
hilarious. Yeah.
Best casting ever. Nathan Fillion is the Vigilante.
Oh, yeah, that is-
oh
that
my
is
god,
good, yeah.
it's like, and when they do the Seven Soldiers of Victory episode, that is just awesome.
Oh, and hey,
when he's talking to the kids, he's like, "All right, kids, you gotta be safe now, and don't get in the ways of my guns." And it's just like, fuck yeah, it's finally it's Mal, it's the captain. It's so awesome.
And speaking of voice actors, real quick, this is the last thing I'll say about it. Mr. Herbert West, Jeffrey Combs as the Question.
Oh, that was perfect.
yeah.
Actually,
that was
yeah.
absolutely perfect.
The only thing more perfect in the whole series is getting Ed Asner to play Granny Goodness.
Oh my god,
So
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Which that Granny Goodness is.
Yeah.
I love that character, and I never cared about it when I read about her,
yeah,
and when I saw her in the animated series. Speaking of Jeffrey Combs, also voiced the Scarecrow in the
Yeah,
fourth,
that's right.
in the fourth season, which
when they made
perfect.
Scarecrow really fucking
Dark and
spooky and fucked
creepy
up.
as hell,
as
yeah.
he should be.
yeah.
Since he's got a fear ability,
Yes.
that's his whole thing. I make people scared. You probably shouldn't be used for comic purposes.
Oh no.
Yeah, he was real cartoony in the first 3 seasons, and then he shows up and he's like wearing a noose as a,
A noose,
necktie.
yeah, he has this like
And,
creepy
you're like,
skeleton-looking
oh, God.
mask. I mean, it's crazy, but Jeffrey Combs did an awesome job.
I did want
the
to.
whole way they handled the question. I'd always blown the question off until watching how they did it. In the
I was
Justice
more
League.
interested. Yeah, that's the
God.
cool thing about that series. A lot of those side characters I would never think about, and
Yeah.
seeing them on that animated series, it actually made me want to go and pick up some of the older comics, especially the Demon.
The episode
Oh, I
where
love
the
the
Huntress gets kicked out of the jail and she starts dating the Question, and like the Ollie and the Black Canary start going after her, and she's it's so awesome.
Oh, it
so
is.
awesome.
It's
So
a comic book orgasm.
I did want to say about the Flash. I found that a lot of people always use him too much for comic purposes and never get that this guy's an incredible badass.
Yeah.
He is the fastest guy in the world. He can travel through fucking time.
Oh
if
yeah,
he goes fast enough.
Yeah,
I mean,
the kind of thing. If
does
he was on
stuff
your
that-
team, and you would get tired of him just because, like, the trouble alert would come on. Colonel Wilcox would tell you about the problem.
Yeah.
and be like, all right, we're gonna go, and he'd come back and like, all right, took care of it.
Already did it, yeah. Which is what they actually. One of the things I like about what they're doing with the return of Barry Allen now is that that's what he's doing. He's like this whole. Well, I've been gone for a while, so I got time to make. I got to make up for a bunch of shit. And there's a point where he's racing Superman, and Superman's like, "Come on, man, you could never beat me." He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's
you
like,
and I, we would trade off wins.
yeah. He's like, "Yeah, I was being nice," and he just goes, "Whoa!" like
It's
the
like,
Roadrunner
it's like,
pulling
Clark,
ahead.
that was for charity.
Yeah.
Oh man, you talk about that him being dead and coming back. There's
Yeah.
a point when him and Hal Jordan recently, he's like, "Well, Hal, you said these people died. How many people have died since I've been gone?" And it's like, ooh,
Talk about a-
Do you just want to know about the ones that have come back?
Yeah.
yeah, talk about like one of those.
You're
moments
looking at
that-
him. I was like, why do I have a story to tell you about myself?
Well, it's one of those moments that actually, somebody asked us a few issues back where said, what are those moments that made you cry in comics? And I didn't cry, but I was touched by that. There's this moment where suddenly you're reminded of every dark, fucked up moment in the last 10 years in the DC continuity, especially the Identity Crisis, which is one of their best things ever. You're like, wow, oh my God. Just all that comes rushing back to you because here's this guy who didn't know about any of this.
Right.
All his best friends who've died.
Oh, and if you're not getting the point about this, go pick up Blackest Night and start reading it.
Yes.
Yeah,
As
by all means.
And if you, assuming that the supplies still are there,
Yeah,
your
exactly.
local store will give you a Blackest Night ring.
That's
a
right.
Black Lantern ring if you buy the first issue, which is awesome. Yeah. So, shit. Why aren't you there now? Why are we here?
Yeah.
Let's go get one. No. Okay.
I have one too, even though I can't wear it. If one of you guys can tape it to me, that'd be really cool.
we'll glue it to you.
All right. So, Zach makes a porno ass. Has there ever been a cartoon moment that makes you cry?
Haven't we covered this?
No.
I guess we covered times in movies that made us cry,
Yeah.
and too often it was cartoons that did.
Everybody wants to picture
I
us
have
crying, apparently.
Okay,
Iron Giant. There, said it.
That's it,
you
yeah.
cannot even talk about the scene when Dumbo visits his mother without me and started being just like bawling my eyes out.
Or
That-
Bambi's mom. Fox
it's
and the Hound.
Dumbo's mother particularly gets me, but yeah, a lot of Disney movies just have that moment where I'm like, ah, but Dumbo's mother, that's it.
Grave
That
of the
is so sad.
Fireflies. Hate to bring up anime.
no,
but damn.
dude. Yeah, no, I was gonna say that. It's like no one want to bring up anime, but Grave of the Fireflies.
Damn.
You might not even be able to finish that one.
No, I know. It's that tough. It's like, oh my
I
god.
had a lot of trouble
Yeah,
getting into that one.
it starts off with the complete destruction of Hiroshima by a fucking A-bomb, and that's the high point.
Well, it's funny. It's exactly like it is an anime film because, like all of the rest, it's about the destruction of Japan by some huge
And-
radioactive thing,
And
Except
women
it's
get raped
actually-
by tentacles.
Except it's actually where it
I don't
came
think that
from.
happened in this
It's
one.
it's the
thinking about
actual story.
Well, even though
Stop
I
it.
don't cry, I'll bring this up because
you
I
Some
saw you the other
oil.
day going a teeny.
Okay, I had my a teeny moment with Batman Sub-Zero. Even though the movie's not that great, it picks up at the very end. But the cool scene was seeing Mr. Freeze. Like there's a scene where he walks up to a cabin. Batman rescues his wife, and they actually cure her.
Yeah.
And he's seeing a little newscast about it, and he realizes, he sees her that she was revived, and a tear comes down his eye, and then he like turns around, he just walks away, and like I don't know where he's obviously up in the Arctic somewhere, but he just walks away and he just disappears, and that's the last you see of him, and it's very sad.
And then the music plays as
Yeah.
Bill Bixby is hitchhiking down the road.
Yeah, exactly. The Incredible Hulk music kicks in, which makes no sense. I was like, they got the copyright to that? Is that what?
The pretty much the entire opening sequence of Up.
Oh yeah.
If you're not in tears by
Good
the end,
I
of
still
that,
haven't seen
you
that
have
yet.
no
I
soul.
missed it. It is
Good
still
Lord,
in
woman.
theaters.
Oh yeah, it's still there.
It was one of those things where I could never get anyone to go with me, so I'm like, well, I'll take myself one day, and then I'd have...
Let's
go
go.
with- I'll
We'll
go with
go.
you.
Yeah, no,
We'll
the-
go.
the
You and
co-host
I
is
will
still
go.
All
there.
right, me and
Yeah.
Coast are going.
I have no money, so you have to pay for it.
I'm not paying for you.
Just stick them in your purse.
Yeah, you're
Hide him in a bucket of popcorn.
He'll be a bucket of popcorn.
Yeah.
Honestly, his actual CPU takes up like the tiniest percentage of his.
We're
space.
talking about my CPU.
You can yank out a bunch of RAM; it'll be fine. I'll never know the difference, and neither will anyone else.
But any guy out there, you rent the Iron Giant if you haven't seen it.
Oh,
And that scene at the end where
Yeah.
he says,
Of course.
Superman.
Of course.
Oh.
I dare you not to
We
cry.
say it 100.
Oh, I
yeah,
love
we've mentioned
it.
that 100 times,
And
but
when,
it
when
still
Hogarth's
makes you
going,
cry.
you choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole sequence.
Honestly, every time in The Incredibles they have anything vaguely resembling a family bonding experience in there, every time they come like there's the quiet moments, I just cry like a baby in that film.
I'm not strong enough. What? This is about you and your strength, proving your strength? No,
No.
I'm not strong enough to lose you guys again. I'm sorry. Every time
I'm getting choked up.
I know. When I recite that, it gets me.
It's getting to me now.
Tarzan.
Pussies!
Tarzan, really?
Tarzan,
Yeah.
what?
I haven't seen
What are you
that
talking
one,
about?
Oh my god, it's the best
actually.
Tarzan movie ever. The
Really?
Disney Tarzan. It's so well done. It's got a fantastic death, fantastic climax, and then Kerchak, his father Ape, who would never accept him, as he's there dying, and he comes to see him. Tarzan, I just wanted to tell you that you were my son. And then he dies. It's like, oh no, not now. We could have played ball.
Disney's
and-
very good. At
Yeah,
cheer. I
they were
remember-
top of their game on that one.
I remember being in the theaters and watching the trailer for Lion King the first time, and it's just that very opening scene, and just crying through that trailer because it was just so beautiful, and I love African drums, and so they're like, African drums are really loud. I was like, this is so gorgeous! Ah! And the movie wasn't even out yet. It was just the first opening scene for the trailer, and I'm bawling my eyes out. So.
Sop you up with paper towels.
I'm a girl. I'm allowed to cry, and it's okay.
Yeah, well,
I cried today during Harry Potter.
You should have been like me, manfully choking back my tears.
You were a clam.
Just shut up. Just shove it in your mouth with popcorn.
It was endearing. It's okay.
Where'd this dust storm come from? Oh, jeez.
It's okay to cry as long as you don't do it all the time for no reason.
Not in front of me. It's
What
not.
is this? Free to being you
No,
and
no,
me
no.
all of a sudden?
Yes.
It's a trap.
You.
Listen.
cry in front of a girl.
Girls will all the time say like, "Oh no, I like a man who can cry." And the
Fuck
minute you
no.
cry in front of him, you're like, "That weak ass
Exactly.
No. That's why I
That's the
said
trap. Yeah,
there are
He's a big
appropriate
pussy.
times
Yeah.
for crying, and then there's not. If you're crying all the time for no reason whatsoever,
Yeah.
no.
Manfully choking back.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're a
This
guy,
is
you end
the
up crying.
proper
Just
way to
start
do it.
pounding your fist into the floor until it bleeds, and then you'll get some
You
cool
will
points.
stop emotions. You will stop.
The thing is, Sometimes you gotta choose one and stick with it. Don't be like someone who's like all stoic your whole life, and then suddenly you start crying. My dad did that. He was like Mr. Stoic.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got into college, and suddenly, like, he was Mr. Cry. And I'm like, who
Mr. Cry.
are you?
Sorry,
Why
that's
are you
a-
crying?
What a great villain.
It's like Meryl. It's like Meryl Streep at the end of Doubt. You're like, wait, what? Aren't you supposed to be an Uber cunt? And
Yeah,
I
like,
said, I'm
start,
sorry. Too late.
Pick one and stick with it. It's weird.
Maybe it's that point where your dad realized my life has been a complete waste.
I think it's just
Whole
his
life
girls
has
grew
been a
up.
lie.
I like men.
I think you're projecting again, Leon.
Perhaps.
Damn.
I do that. Next question.
Boatloads 1017 asks, what did you think about Steven Spielberg's 90s animated shows like Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, and Freakazoid? Well, those of you who have been following
Yeah.
Spill and the Adventures of Leog for a while will have read posts by Bo and myself covering all of that
those,
when they've
yeah.
re-released them on
If you
DVD.
want the detailed things, go to the Leog Lounge. Go to the little point where it goes to our written stuff. There is a link.
Yeah, there's a thing that says the League Guide to Television.
All of those things have been reviewed. I've done 2 Tiny Toon reviews. Cyrus has done Freakazoid.
Two Freakazoid reviews.
2 Freakazoid reviews. Have we done any of the Animaniacs?
No, but we've talked about them. We've discussed them. In
Well,
those,
we should.
so.
I mean, you know,
They didn't offer them.
yeah. The basic gritty crux of this is we adore them.
Yes.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that whole output of Warner Brothers during the early 90s was a new golden age of animation. I mean, the stuff that they were doing and the stuff that they were bringing about, especially, man, Animaniacs, just like bravely making these completely new cartoons that weren't related to any toy, that weren't related to any marketing device. They were just, you know, this new, interesting Warner Brothers cartoon. I loved them. Oh,
Yeah,
so
no,
much.
I did too. And they're great. You can go back and rewatch them now and get something completely different out of them
Oh,
than
yeah.
you did when they originally came out. I love Freakazoid. That was my big one. I think
Yeah.
that show was brilliant. I mean, admittedly, it was a bit of a rip-off of Mad
Men.
Men, but
Did Alred make any money off of that at all?
no, but he
really?
went, you know. I think he came around to the point of like, well, what are you going to do? You know?
You know, it's so close, and yet there's not enough there to really make a strong suit against it.
Well, because he's so close in the way he looks.
Right.
And you know the idea of there's this character who like is kind of surreal and insane, but they went such a different direction with the show
Exactly.
itself that it is hard to compare it. So yeah, no.
Yeah, no. I mean, those cartoons really are responsible for the kickoff or the revolution and TV animation. I mean, I've said that 100 times.
Yeah, no,
it's just
I
like
agree.
Batman animated series really cemented it.
Yeah.
It's like those things could have come and gone, and it never would have kept going. But that was what really did it.
Warner Brothers were the ones who rebirthed the animation. Yes, and took it away from the. Sorry, Grant, who isn't here. Sucky 80s cartoons that were just there to sell toys into like, hey, let's respect animation again. Let's get good voice actors and real humor and not just be trying to sell.
I have to defend Grant. I'm a fan of the 80s cartoons.
I love
I'm
them too, so
sorry.
yeah,
I'm
fuck
sorry.
you, Cyrus.
He-Man forever. No.
I don't know what to say.
Centurions. Highs in the background screaming Centurions.
Micronauts.
Silverhawks.
The ghetto!
You know what? What makes all those cartoons relevant is Robot Chicken. Because without those cartoons,
Yeah.
Seth
There'd be
Green
no
wouldn't have
material.
so many great material to make fun of.
I love Seth
Hey.
Green.
So whatever happened to
Yes.
Chitara? Oh, she's over there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Reagan
she's
was
still
our
my
father.
special lady.
I have wanted to do a Chitara costume as well, going back to the
Chitara,
leotard
yes.
thing.
Wait,
I wanted
what?
to do a Chitara costume.
Are you serious?
You want to do
do?
one or you did one?
I have wanted to.
Oh,
we have to make this
I
happen.
will help you with all of
We
these
will all-
things.
we
All
will
my
pitch
leotard
in on
costumes.
this.
I'll put in $20 and nobody else will. I'm just saying right now.
Give me personal trainers that
wait.
do a little slightly better my ass.
gonna need
and then
some of those
we'll
for
have-
the
we'll do
dances.
leotards.
I got a gold membership I never used. Come on, let's
Can
go.
can somebody make me a Snarf costume and I'll hang out with you? I'll hang out with you all the time.
Someone make me a staff that is, you know, like 5 inches long and suddenly goes.
Oh, yeah.
See, what's great is for me, for my the
Stop
80s
with the dick
cartoon,
joke. Wherever you're going with the dick joke, stop.
the 80s
Come on,
cartoon.
you can't set them up like that and expect nobody to.
Even though that is a great
Your dick
idea.
goes.
Yeah, pretty much it does.
This bionic.
Bionic dick fella.
I need to get a pet. Yeah. I need to get a patent on that woman's pleasure
For
station.
me, it's like my favorite 80s cartoon character was the Shmoo, and to dress
Oh,
up like
no,
him,
it wasn't.
all I need to do is put a sheet over me, and I look exactly
And a
like
mustache.
him.
Who's the Shmoo?
Yeah,
This,
see, you
this,
don't
this
I don't
creepy
know what that
white
is.
thing, white blob.
He was
Will
a
with,
cum
Abner,
doll.
with just
right?
feet and a mustache.
It was something developed by Al Cap,
Yeah.
the guy who invented
Little Abner.
Little Abner.
Yeah, Little Abner.
And he appeared there, and then for some reason, apropos of nothing, he started appearing in like all these Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Hanna-Barbera has never done a Little Abner cartoon, but they were just like, "Hey, I know, let's put the Shmoo into Scooby-Doo for no reason whatsoever."
It's like in 1985, John Holmes' sperm became self-aware.
yeah, it had
it looks like an
mustache.
upended sperm with like appendages.
And a mustache, right?
And mustache.
Porn stash.
It makes you
Total
a big
porn
boy.
stash. Oh my god, that's why I'm saying John Holmes. It looked
Yeah.
like John Holmes.
the ghost of John Holmes.
Oh,
Via Casper.
damn.
It's the cum dollop of John Holmes. Come to life. Okay.
Oh.
That's why I said you missed that joke. Apparently. All right. So Axel B asks, League Masters, which is why we're answering his question. Okay. What are your opinions on the Flintstones and other Hanna-Barbera cartoons?
Let's sit back and let Leon talk.
I absolutely love.
Take it away,
Flintstones.
Leon.
No one was alive then.
It's all you, Leon.
I knew the real Flintstones, and they actually argue quite a bit. You couldn't stand them, but no, the Flintstones took the whole honeymooners thing. I mean, that's the thing. Hanna-Barbera back at that time, that was the first thing they did was what Flintstones was taken from the honeymooners, and then they were like, oh, this is successful. Let's get on a roll. So the Jetsons came from Blondie, Scooby-Doo came from Dobie Gillis. There's a couple others that I'm just not remembering right now, and then they went on their whole detective spree. But
Wait a minute. You said the Jetsons came from Blondie as far as the musical group?
No, Blondie and Dagwood.
No, oh, you
Oh,
don't know- yeah.
No.
The musical group. Oh my god. I don't have to go back that far. Yes, I'm sorry. You know what?
George Jetson is actually Deborah Harry. A lot of people don't get
Thank
that.
you, co-host. There are people who don't know what Blondie I'm talking about.
No.
Blondie and Dagwood.
Yes,
The guy who
yes,
eats
Blondie-
big sandwiches and
Okay.
his flapper wife, which is no longer relevant because nobody knows what the fuck a flapper is.
1920s.
Yeah, but the schlub with the hot, sexy wife,
And the weird sadomasochistic relationship with his boss.
Yeah, exactly. Where like Dagwood's boss, I can't remember his name, Mr. Dibble or something.
Mr. Gribble or something like that.
But he used to kick him in the ass, like literally, not
Yeah.
not like get him motivated,
Right.
but like literally put his foot in Dagwood's ass all the time.
Having been a manager before,
It's
I
Mr.
gotta
Mr.
say,
Dithers.
I wish that we could still do that. Because if you
wanna
have
read this.
ever complained about service at a restaurant before, let me tell you how I could fix that.
Yeah, well, being someone who's had a
A
manager,
good belt in the Levant.
I like they would take a lot of TV shows and go like, hey, we'll just do our cartoon version of this. Anybody remember the Oddball Couple?
No.
Which is based on the Odd
Yeah.
Couple, except it was a dog and a
It's-
cat.
it was Felix was a cat and,
Yeah,
and
Oscar was a dog.
because
Yeah.
dogs are messy
That's
and
not
cats
right.
are fastidious.
It's like
Yeah.
a MASH animated series.
No,
That's not right.
no.
They
When
shouldn't
cats
do
and
it.
dogs start breeding, it's the apocalypse. Don't you know that?
The end of everything. Which brings us back to the real Ghostbusters.
The walls of the 18th precinct were bleeding.
How do you
the
explain
Flintstones
that?
I found very funny. I thought even though they went through the same plots that every other sitcom did with those a married couple. They were animated, so they could take
But it
a
was
little
badly
further.
animated, so it's newer.
They were go back and look at those.
And
the animation
they-
is not bad.
They're all right. But the thing is, I mean, Hanna-Barbera was. They were kind of they took the baton from Disney as far as the leader at the time of animation, and one of the ways they did that was you've got the Scooby-Doo where you have the repeating background in the
yeah.
back, and they cut costs.
Oh, they
through
totally did.
all
Total-
kinds of
total
measures.
cut costs, cookie cutter animation, all that. It's just that when you watch the Flintstones, you can see that like compared to all the other stuff they were doing, like that was their premiere show. It was the one that came on prime time. It was it was the template that the Simpsons were
And when
parodying.
No, of
and when
course.
Fred takes a dump into that bird's mouth and that bird looks you in the eyes, you can tell he wants you to kill him.
It is not, in fact, a living.
Ew. I'll say the one thing that always put me off about
It's
Hanna-Barbera
living
cartoons as a kid was the laugh track.
Oh, sure.
I was like, this isn't filmed in front of a studio audience. It's a cartoon. Don't tell me when to laugh. I'll decide. That was the one problem I had as a kid. It's like if I could just turn the laugh track off, I think I would.
I don't
enjoy it
agree
more.
with that. I need help to laugh sometimes, and I need to know exactly when to
You know,
laugh so I can be cool.
sadly, I grew up at a time when every show had a laugh track,
Yeah.
so that's all I knew. I didn't know from not
That
having
was
one.
part of why I wasn't so into television when I was a kid. I'm right there with Kristen. I
Yeah,
was like,
like-
this is annoying. Don't tell me when it's okay to
like it.
laugh and when it's not. I got back into TV comedy when they stopped doing that. Just saying.
Well,
yeah, I was like,
that-
I'll
yeah.
choose when to
By
laugh.
the time JFK came along, it was a whole new deal we had going. on.
What?
You had the
JFK hated communists and
No
he hated the
laughing.
laugh track.
Yeah, you had the hippie and the hipsters and laugh tracks. Went out
Admittedly,
the door.
it is
no,
gonna
no,
have to
no,
be.
no. Like, laugh tracks where it was an Eisenhower thing.
Because I know when I actually think something is funny when I don't require that infectious laughter effect to do it. If I laugh out loud at something and that's not there, then it was actually fucking funny.
You
know?
guys ever notice when I make a joke, I tend to laugh right after I say the joke because that's kind of my cue for the audience to laugh. So whenever I think I'm being really witty and awesome and just badass, and I say, "Oh, Leo, you guys suck," nah!
We're going to
And
start
that's
adding
when
laugh
it-
tracks to Leon.
Yeah, you should. You should.
I didn't want this recorded on here.
All right. So we're gonna go here. It's getting towards the end. Come on, we're at the end of this one. It's a
Are we?
point.
They make it so short.
It's a 0.5 for God's sakes.
Oh. You know what? Somebody wrote in and said like, "Oh, stop it with the 0.5s. They're all. It's a weekly show. Give it up."
Yeah, but
That's
the 0.5s
dumb.
are great because we can make them shorter and just relax.
Okay.
Yeah, so unless you're willing to start paying us for our time, go suck it.
And speaking of, Bo's birthday is coming up. But anyway, now they've done
August
Pimping
3rd, Bo?
Yeah.
Yes, August 3rd.
Leo.
Yes, one of my favorite people in the world who totally deserves
I
anything.
hope you have your
Who's that?
whore list ready.
But-
Oh, okay.
you got
Sorry, from your description, I wasn't thinking of both.
Captain Short Attention Span. What are we talking about?
Wait, you like somebody?
But Evil Teddy, for our last question of the show, says, if you haven't done so already, sing your favorite theme song or song in an animation. If you have, what song do you hate? But let's just go for the singing your favorite theme song. And
Cyrus, should we do this in unison?
yeah, hold on. It's going to take me a minute to remember how it starts.
Living on the edge,
Edge,
fighting crime,
crime,
spinning
spinning
west,
west.
leaping from
You know the
the
words. I don't know the
he
words.
can leap
I'll
above
do the
our
chorus.
heads. Villains on the rise and the city's victimized. Good.
Come on.
Damn it, I knew this
Let's
last
go
part.
to the chorus.
Arriving in the speed of time. Spectacular, spectacular
Spider-Man.
Spectacular, spectacular,
Spider-Man.
spectacular. Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
Bing, bing, ba-boom.
By far the best theme song ever. So
At least for now.
yeah, at least for now. Well, yes, obviously I can't predict theme songs that haven't actually
There's
been
some other great
released.
theme
Yeah.
songs. Come on.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
In
dun,
2012,
dun,
there's a
dun,
great
dun.
theme song that will be released. What is that?
When in this world the headlines read of those whose hearts are filled with greed and rob and steal from those who need to right this wrong with blinding speed goes underdog.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else?
We're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony. No, sorry.
You know, which reminds me, Leog still doesn't have a theme song.
Oh, God, that
We need one.
goddamn Greg.
We've been saying since episode 1.
I know. It's been
Yeah.
like two
Greg
at least a
hasn't
year and a
been
half.
here.
We need to subcontract to a composer.
Greg hasn't been here for 4 episodes now, and I'm thinking maybe we should start paying him.
He actually
Well,
does
you know what?
have a lot to do.
He's got his big battle of the bands coming up.
Yeah.
that he's got to prepare for.
Yeah.
They just finally pressed a CD, and we still gonna have our Greg focus
And by the way,
episode.
that Battle of the Bands is on August 2nd, so at midnight that will be my birthday.
Oh, that's
so
right.
everything's-
Milk it,
We're
boo.
gonna milk it, yes.
Now,
Right on.
I'm gonna get so trashed.
Come on,
Yeah,
come
I was-
over and throw up on my shoes.
Hey, anybody in Austin second, you got to come to Antone's and watch, cheer Greg on and celebrate Bo's birthday.
There you go.
yes.
It's a twofer.
Now, I can't tell you what the next episode's going to be about because we don't know yet.
That's true.
But we're going to work on it.
Hey,
We've got
it's gonna be
to
crazy.
I would assume are you guys going to do a just two of you Comic-Con episode? Or?
Well, there's going to be something Comic-Con oriented. I don't know if it's going to be a Leog or a totally separate thing.
Are y'all bringing recording equipment too?
I will
That
be
is the
bringing
plan.
recording
Bring-
equipment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, real-
Apparently, we're bringing recording equipment, and we're going to be at interviews and panels all 3 or 4 days, all day long.
Good.
well,
because
Like
we
Corey's
don't
making it
want you
sound
to
like
have
we're,
any
we're
fun.
not going to have any fun while we're there.
No, you're there to work.
gosh.
God damn it! If I
That'd
can't
be
go, you're gonna
Yeah.
work.
Work your ass.
Work.
Yeah.
If I had it my way, I'd be there with a whip. Fucking just get to work.
quite
Even
familiar
when
with
you're
that.
working, I'd
Wow.
still whip you just to make sure you're paying attention to what's going on in that panel. God damn it!
I think Leon's going to win the Charlton Heston chariot race at that event. I'm just saying.
Hey, but real quick though, did everyone do their theme song?
No. I was
did-
about to throw it back to you
Oh,
guys.
okay.
Theme
And-
song. Come on. Animated theme song.
Can I do 2?
You can do 2.
All right. Well, the first song isn't song; it's just voice work.
Okay.
Do it.
You're skating the edge. I am the edge. What you want, only I can give. You can't give it, you can't even buy it, and you just don't get it. That's
I don't-
Rayon Flux.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right.
And
I knew it sounded familiar.
I love what she says, and you just don't get it.
Indeed. What was the other one?
Thunder! Thundercats! Oh! Thundercats are on the move. Thundercats are loose. Do-do-do-do. Feel the magic, hear the roar. Thundercats are loose. Thunder,
Wow.
Thundercats!
Thundercats are
Thunder,
loose.
Thundercats!
That's dirty.
That was always a little bitty.
Especially Cheetar. It just would fuck any.
But she was the only female character of age, so...
She was walking around the whole series presenting.
Yeah.
She would have gone for Panthro. He was
Good
the
Lord,
only
what is that
manly
smell?
man.
Oh,
Oh my God! What the hell was that noise?
Just spray her with some hot water when she drags herself across the floor like that. It's kind of gross.
Panthro took care of that.
You got to take a Q-tip and moisten it with some.
Now we know what Cyrus does with his cats.
How come you got to use the brother as the sex slave? Come on.
Yeah.
I think
what-
it was mutual. my
Yeah, why
friend.
wouldn't you?
Yeah, he was the only manly man of Thundercat Lair. The other guys were questionable.
Wino was a
well,
little
yeah.
gay? I don't know.
He
They are
was a
cats.
child for starters.
Lionel?
Lion-O's hyperbolic chamber cracked during transition. He was actually 9 years old. He's the same age as Thunder
true.
Kit and Thunder Cat.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait,
And
there's
so
a Thunder Kitten.
there's Thunder
what you
Kit and
said?
Thundercat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Wily Kit and
Wily Kid, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wily Kid, Wily Cat. He's the same age as them, but his chamber got cracked. So
Holy shit.
mentally, he's their age, but his body physically grew.
Oh.
And they go through that several times, and so he's faced with the challenge of having to be the Thundercat Lord because it's his destiny,
All
but
right.
he's like 9 years old.
He's
Say no more. Panthro was hitting that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, wait.
Yeah, it was
No,
Panthro.
no,
He-
no,
well,
no,
he-
and
another adult-
Tigra,
Tigra. Okay.
he was probably into the dudes.
Okay, okay.
So
I
you're
can
telling?
see
So
that.
yeah. So Lionel was
So
was a
Panthro
man
was
child.
the only
Yeah.
real choice.
All
for
my
her.
snark
All right.
against that show, aside, I would love to see a new Thundercats where they all speak in lol speak. I think that'd be the best.
I can have Sword of Destiny.
Exactly.
Thunder Kitty.
Okay, that would make me like lolcats.
I just can't believe someone out there. Please be listening and go. Oh my God, he's got it. That's what we needed to sell this. All right, co-host.
hey,
Did you
co-host.
have an answer? for
I
that?
got one. Are you ready? Get ready for this. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. He-Man. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. He-Man. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. He-Man. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. He-Man. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Overcompensating. Well, ladies and
Wait,
gentlemen,
let's go to She-Ra.
Oh,
that seems like as good a point as any. to
She-Ra.
Bring us out of this
She-Ra.
Bring us out of this episode of
For the
Leon.
honor of Grayskull.
We were all glad to take a part of this until this moment.
She-Ra.
Oh, we got. There's also a really cool music part in He-Man where it's like you hear this guitar out of nowhere. It's like.
It just occurred to me, like, you know how we have fluoride in the water here in the U.S.? I'm pretty sure that Eternia, they had steroids in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
There's
something.
nothing wrong with
He-Man
that.
was often lactating.
Oh,
Damn.
it's like Visitor Q animated. What is
Should
that?
have done all
right.
the lines. Prince Adam. I'm Prince Adam, Prince of Eternia. That didn't come out right.
I'm Prince Adam.
My shirt's
I'm
pink
Prince
and my
Adam.
pants purple. I don't know.
Hi, I'm Prince Adam. I'm from
I'm
Eternia. I'm
picturing
Prince of
more like
Eternia.
Sacha Baron Cohen in the role. with that little penis going, He-Man.
And I could totally
You
see
watch
the
your
co-host
tongue.
is Orko.
Hey, nothing wrong with Orko. He was kind of cool.
Welcome to Eternia. This is my cousin, Sheila. Nice.
Nice. I like you. Do you like me, Orko?
Oh, God. Okay, well, that's going to be it for this episode.
Stop us now.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. We'll see you in another week, and let's give our traditional farewell.
Long live.
He-Man.
Oh,
Long live the league.
Long live the
It's
league.
long live the
Long live the
league, is
league.
it? Okay. See you later, guys.